is Sarah.
Mic check, mic check, mic check.
Yeah, can you hear me?
You know what, Lewis? This is the first time I've been in the host seat in our studios.
Is it really?
It really is.
No.
I'm so excited to welcome my next guest. Please come around, come around. I would love to interview you.
Who is that over
Woo!
there?
You know, this is a crazy party, Lewis.
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people.
Do we have some kind of disclaimer, let people know they're on the internet? Is that a thing?
Yeah, the views and opinions of this live are not.
Hold on. I
Please come sit down. I would love to interview you. Yes, we are live.
Okay.
Hello, hello. Please put your headphones on. Let's get to know you.
Headphones on.
Headphones on. Have you been interviewed before?
There you are.
Well,
Maybe.
now you are. Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so please give us your name. My name is Sarah. Zach Lewis, you'll see him. He is the man behind the curtain. Actually, he's behind the glass.
Yes.
Welcome. And so we'll go around the room and say who we are. And I would love to also interview Misty. Misty, come sit down, please. Hello, hello. Drinks are flowing. Where's mine? Usually I'm drinking coffee.
I was going to say, I'm definitely drinking coffee in here, so for what it's worth.
Welcome, welcome to the Real News PR podcast open mic night. Woo! Can I get a cheers? Yay!
Yay!
I love it. Well, we're going to start with interviewing Zach Lewis. Zach Lewis.
Who, me?
Yeah, yes, you.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, so tell us all about how you got into podcasting, Zach Lewis.
Oh, gosh. Well, I was in college making a lot of very smart decisions.
Always.
I was getting a liberal arts degree, which let me tell you, great investment. And it got me here, so for what it's worth, it was totally worth the time. But I stumbled into a guy who was working in radio. He said, hey, I have a podcast. You should come be on my show. You got a great voice for radio. And I said, really? Cool. So here I am. I started working at iHeartMedia across the street. Some of you might know it. I got tangled up with this guy named Jeff Crilly, and he said, hey, I'd love to do this show at my office and not have to pay a lot of money for it. And we said, well, how about podcasting? And he said, that's great. What does it take to start up? And we said, nothing. We're doing it right now, and we're doing it on the cheap because we're in college. And he was like, that's brilliant. And suddenly, over the course of 3 years, we have developed multiple studios and a board and all of this
Here
stuff
we are.
going on here. It's wild. Let me tell you. It has been a wild, crazy journey, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. So
And we are
great.
so excited to have you, Lewis. I mean, I absolutely love and adore not only just your voice and your personality, everything that you bring to every show that you produce with us.
Well, shucks. Thanks, Sarah.
Seriously, it's amazing. Okay, so how I got involved with Real News PR is my dad owns the business, Jeff Crilly, and so he spent 25 years in news, and I was really excited when he started Real News PR, but he did take a break from being in the media. And so fast forward, we were 10 years in the business, but a few years ago, he decided to start his own radio show, and I got really excited because, yay, Dad's back on the mic.
Yeah.
And it took off, and so we did. As Zach brings up, we started our own studios, and it was really because of my dad, and so here we are. So non-traditional PR firm, we have studios, and we produce content all day long. And so I would love to get to know each and every one of you. Welcome. So we're going to go around and say your name and how you found out about Success North Dallas and Real News PR. Sir?
My name is Madan Goyal.
Hello.
I've visited Success North Dallas many times. I'm not a regular member, but they always have good speakers and good programs, so it's always exciting to go whenever I can.
You get up early, don't you?
Well, you
That
have
meeting
to.
starts at 7.
That's right. That's right.
A.M.
And so that's why I don't go regularly.
Well, I love that you came and that brought you here.
Well, I'm glad I did. This is really an eye-opener. I
Yes.
didn't realize we had such a nice facility here.
Aw. And it's not 7 a.m.
That's
Until
right.
probably almost 7 p.m., actually.
Will
Coming up
soon
on
be.
it.
And Misty, you have the most beautiful smile in the world. Welcome. Tell us about you, how you found out about Real News PR and Success North Dallas.
Yeah, so gosh, I met Jeff, I don't even know where, but I acquired his book many years ago.
Between news and speaking and networking and Success North Dallas, you're bound to run into him somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And then fast forward, Success North Dallas, I was introduced to a few years ago by a very whimsical client of mine, we'll call her, and she said whimsical.
I love it.
I'm trying. Anyway, yep. So she invited me and told me it was going to change my life.
Ooh.
And I was like, that's a little dramatic, but I'll come check it out. And then when the first speaker spoke about finance, and finance puts me to sleep, and I actually stayed awake and enjoyed it, I was like, I think this will change and enhance my life. And I've been a member for almost 3 years now, and their photographer for almost 3 years.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What do you love about taking photos?
What don't I love about it? What I do love
Better
about
question.
it is that I just love and adore getting to know people. It's my juice.
You
Getting
get
to
to
know
capture those
people.
moments that, you're part of it, right?
Yeah. So my husband and I enjoy getting to know the cashier at the grocery store. So when I get paid to get to know people, that's even better.
I absolutely love it. Okay, and you have such a beautiful sweater, but I cannot see your name.
Oh, Laura.
Laura, welcome.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Everybody's just so beautiful here.
Ah.
It's this lighting and you.
And
I think it is the lighting.
It's the lighting. Yeah. Right.
Somebody
I just
will
hope
have
the
lights
some of
positivity
this at home.
exudes off of all of us. Laura,
Very good.
how did you find out about Real News PR and Success North Dallas?
So I've known Success North Dallas for a while and have been to a few meetings. And now that I have just started my new business, I'm going to look into becoming a member because they do have great programming. And your dad,
Congratulations, a new
thank
business.
You. Yeah, I'm excited. I met him several years ago, back when he was telling the turkey story. I have
the
his
turkey
original
story.
book with the original cover. Like,
Oh, you do?
I do.
Like
Yeah.
the white with the
Yes,
TV?
exactly.
Oh, that's got to be worth money or
I
not.
know. I'm going to sell it on eBay or
Run a
something.
mint on Amazon. No joke. You should check that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, how cool. I love
Yeah.
hearing that. And what is your business? Can you share with us?
Oh, sure. So I'm a ghostwriter. I've been a content strategist for years. And
Fabulous.
I really want to help people tell their story. That's my gift and my passion. And so
Laura,
I
that's
want to help
huge.
them, write their books. And that's one of the reasons this was so interesting to me, because I feel like if you're going to put that much content out there, you need to put it on all the formats and all the media. And so-
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, just struck a chord with me. We love telling stories, and especially to have a ghostwriter be able to capture that in the moment and capture pictures, and yourself, sir, getting up at 7 a.m. to find out all about it.
That's right.
Well, in closing here, what would you like to share to the world about yourself, sir? I feel like we just skipped on over
What?
you after the 7 a.m.
Oh.
talk. It didn't put us to sleep, I assure you.
No, that was fine. I've been around in Dallas area and Plano about 40 years. And,
Oh, Plano. I'm from Plano.
oh, good.
Yes,
good.
there is life
Yeah.
beyond 635.
Well, I met Jeff at few functions, and when he was a speaker, and got one of his book also. So, which really is a good, as a small business person, I kind of found that very interesting. That there are ways, how you get on the news. When are there slow times and when they're looking for something, and
That's right.
I thought that was interesting. I didn't realize that till I read that book. So I've been in a long time in the passport expediting business, and our slogan is, when you got to go, and we'll get you the passport to make sure you can go.
I love that. Very practical. Joe, what do you think about that in there behind the curtain? He can't hear us. We're talking about you, Joe. We need to interview you next. Well, very good. Well, please
thank
feel
you.
free to plug your businesses and your websites, and we would love to have you back here and hopefully do a podcast with you.
Yeah,
Thank
that'd be
you.
great.
Starting with got to go when you got to go, and it's not about the bathroom. It's about getting the passport.
That's right.
So what's your website? Tell us your website.
Flyingpassport.com.
Flyingpassport.com. Check it
Yes.
out. And Misty?
Misty at Photography by Misty or photographybymysty.com.
Love it. And we'll make sure to tag you. And Laura.
Mine's easy. LauraArmbruster.com.
Well, how do you spell your last name, ma'am?
ARMBRUSTER.
Fabulous. All right. Well, we would love to have you guys back. We'll take off the headphones here. We'll bring on Joe. Lewis, we'll keep you on the microphone. Joe saying, he's looking at me like, I'm crazy. Come on, Joe. Let me interview you. No? You're okay? Not today? We're going to take a short break. No awkward pauses here.
No.
We'll be back.
No awkward pauses.
I have a degree in journalism. That's
Very
a totally
good.
different story.
So, Lewis, are we
versus
going to keep rolling or are we really going to go to break?
We can go to break.
Let's go to break. We'll be
I got
back.
a little something, yeah.
All right. Don't go away.
Well, you and I both. I just got something from
Gary,
you.
I know you.
Yeah, that's right. I just got something from you recently.
Tim. Yes.
Okay, put your headphones on and you're going to eat the mic. So this is the Tim Show.
The Tim Show.
This is the Tim Show.
To be
Tim,
honest, I'm really getting into whatever this jam is. But yeah, all right, the Tim Show. I can do that.
Are you feeling rock and roll? Are you feeling jazz? What are you feeling?
Yeah. Little jazz, a little rock and roll.
All right.
Ooh,
So
okay.
give us a little intro to the Tim Show, and then as soon as he intros you, Tim, you got to introduce your guests. So my name is Jeff. We've got.
Dagmar Fleming.
Okay, you gotta hold that up so Tim can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And we got Gary.
Yeah.
Gary. The Tim Show? Is that what we're
The Tim Show.
The Tim Show. Let me find a little something for the Tim Show. I want to make sure this sounds
Is
good.
he Tim?
He's Tim.
That's
This is
the
his
man.
world. We're just living in it right now.
Tim, what do you do?
What do? I build custom automobiles.
Custom automobiles. Okay, that sounds like fun.
All right,
It
hold
is.
on.
That's why I do it.
What's the best car that you've ever built?
A 69/70 Roadrunner.
All right. And was it fast?
Very.
All right. What else was special about it?
It's one of a kind.
Ooh, one of a kind.
Yes.
Sounds like love.
Yes.
Tim, you
All
mind
right.
cozying up to that mic a little bit more for me? Let me do my intro thing. It's all I got, guys. Let me take a crack at this.
What intro? I'm hoping this is fun, right? It's not actually going live.
You're doing good. Sure, this totally isn't on Facebook.
All right.
Josh, can you tell her shit? Maybe. It's totally fine. Yeah, hold on a second, gang. Let me make sure I got some music here. How's this?
Who's talking? Because no one's lips are moving.
Is that not me? I'm up here.
we
Yeah,
were
I'm
supposed
the guy
to
in the
wait.
booth. That's me.
That's the guy. All right, look over there, guys.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's the guy that's trying to
very
produce
Like a
this.
penguin in a
to me.
zoo exhibit, yeah. Yes, I'm the producer, Zach. Give me just a second. Let me play some music for you. Hold on.
Let's say
Stand by.
hello, Zach.
Hello, Zach.
It's like an AAA meeting.
It's the Tim Show, starring a very exciting jazz track and Tim. Tim, that's your cue.
Oh, hey. This is the
Hello
Tim
there.
Show. Let me introduce you to Gary,
Dagmar.
Dagmar, and Kirk,
Hi, Kurt.
or Mr. Otis.
Well, that would be correct.
Yes.
Often Captain Kirk.
Yes, so why are we here and what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about fun cars.
Oh, I love fun cars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Are they fast?
Yes, they are very fast.
Okay, so beauty and speed.
Yes, a lot of beauty and a whole lot of speed.
All right. Well, so
Yes.
we started talking about this
Sounds
earlier.
like some of my dates.
Speed dating.
Wow,
Yes.
this is going to go in a different direction very
Captain Kirk
fast.
at the end of the
Yes.
table. I love
Okay,
it.
Captain Kirk, hold
I
on
mean,
here.
isn't that what a car is for, after all?
Yes.
Yeah, they kind of go together.
Well, it will only get you so far, may I say that. All right. So, Captain Kirk, hold it, because first I would like to find out about his favorite car and what made her so special.
Oh, it's really not a her. It's really a he.
Ooh.
Because it is. It is.
Okay, what is it?
Well, it's a 1969 Roadrunner that's been fashioned into two different Roadrunners, different model years, into one car.
Wow.
Yes, and we're going to introduce it to the public in 2 weeks.
Of
SEMA.
Frankenstein.
No, it's not Frankenstein. It's much better than Frankenstein.
All right.
It's
Yes.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
Yes.
well,
It's
tell us about the
beautiful.
hidden features.
Oh, it's got so many. It's it looks like an original car, but it's not. It has all the newest driving features, all electronics. There are no buttons on any of the dashboard. There's just one instrument cluster. Simple, easy, but it has everything an Infiniti would have inside the car.
All right, well, I like it already. Gary, what's going on here? You're particularly silent.
Well, because my stuff is not anywhere nearly as exciting as what the stuff you're talking about.
Well, not with that
So-
attitude, Gary. You're just as valuable as everybody else. Come on now.
But I mean, you know, I help people save money in taxes and stuff and financial services.
That's
it's
a
a little
big
bit different
deal.
than it. Yeah, it's a big deal, but it's a little bit different than cars
All
and
right.
women.
Cars.
Come on, guys. Okay, so I see it. So Gary will help us get the money so we can get the car and go with Captain Kirk here on a date. So Captain Kirk.
Quickly.
Yes, quickly, very quickly. Now, I hope the date will not progress just as fast as this car accelerates. So, Captain Kirk, what is your typical date protocol? since that's your expertise.
We are on Facebook, just so
That's,
in case that makes a difference, Mr. Kirk.
have you executed NDAs?
You know what? I do have a, let's see, the views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the, well, shoot, that
right, we
covers
like
me.
that.
I don't know about you, Mr. Kirk.
Oh, okay, but this is a valid question. We've got the car, we've got the money, so all we are missing is advice. So should.
Advice?
Well, yeah. Well, we want to know. Women, we want to always kind of dig into male psyche. So, what's going on there under the hood?
Very little.
How disappointing.
We're pretty simple, actually.
This from the tax man in there. Come on, Gary.
All right. I was hoping for more complex answers. So let's shoot it back to the host of this show.
Thank you. So, what else? How about you? What are you?
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
what's your background?
Well, my background, first of all, I'm Polish, but really at heart, I am a true Texan, and I speak with the fabulous new language called Poltex, and that's a Polish Texan. So some people understand, some, are a little bit slower, but, just, can you hear the words coming out of my mouth?
Yes, I can.
All right, wonderful.
doing good.
So we're
Yes, I can.
Yes. And I'm a success coach, so I actually help people figure out what's blocking them emotionally or mentally, and why they're not getting the results in life and in business.
You're also a natural on the mic, Dagmar. Make sure you snag a card on your way out. We'd like to see more
And
of
some
ya.
tax advice, hopefully not too creative. How about you, Kirk?
I'm actually an investment banker up in Plano.
Well, look, and so much personality and attitude hiding behind investment banker. Well, congratulations, Kirk.
Well,
We're going to build up your female following here.
there you go.
So, if you need a solid financial advice, Captain Kirk will get you there, and he'll get you fast.
Well, if you're a business owner and you're looking for an exit, that's what we do.
All right, cool. All right.
Well, shoot, gang. I appreciate you sitting down with me. Let me play a little music to play us out, right?
Yeah.
We'll call the Tim Show a wrap. Tim, is that all right? You are the host, after all.
Yes, let's call it a wrap.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, gang.
Thank you, guys. This was
has
fun.
been the Tim Show on RNCN. Stick around for more.
Oh my goodness, that was so much fun.
gosh, excuse me, gang. I got caught up talking to some folks in here. Who do we got sitting in there? Okay, well, hold on. I know a couple of these people. Wait a second. Hold on. Who is that over there?
You're going to be tagged in it.
Sorry, gang. Your mic's on.
Hey,
Who are we sitting down with? Hold on.
Hold on.
Introduce yourselves. Yeah, we are actually on Facebook. I should clarify. This is
very
going live.
This is awesome.
Yeah. When you want to find this tomorrow, head to our page. About 25 minutes in, there's your segment. That'll be it. So yeah.
Awesome.
Who's that on mic one, sir? Excuse me.
Tom Bronson. How are
Bronson.
you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm awesome.
I'm gonna be honest. They told me I'd have to sit in here and run a board and press buttons. Wouldn't have to talk to anybody, and here I am. So excuse me. I'm still working on my coffee.
Did you just get out of bed? Well, perhaps you can go upstairs and work on something a little better than coffee.
That's what I'm missing. Everybody else has that going on. They said the drinks are pouring, and I'm in here drinking cold coffee. So for what it's
We can
worth.
hook you up. We can hook you up.
Oh yeah, can we?
Just for a slight fee.
You know, Casey's like that. She can hook anybody up.
What?
Casey's been here before, believe it or not.
I've been here before.
Yeah, with a certain somebody. Casey, you were on the Jerry Acuff show.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I want to do it again.
You stayed in touch with him? How is
Of course I do. He's my mentor.
Is he really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know. How many he mentors like 10 people, doesn't he?
No, I'm the only one.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Well, pardon me.
Do you know something different?
No, I just, he's a popular guy, Jerry. Who's on mic 3 over there?
Hey, Melanie Murphy
Melanie
here.
Murphy. Good to see you again.
Yeah, thank you. Been a little while since I've been in your space.
I don't have you on camera.
I'm moving.
Yes.
I located.
Melanie, well done.
Yes.
A team player,
You
Melanie
know
Murphy.
what?
Yes.
Not to be let down. Our
No.
peripheral is important.
Melanie, thanks for swinging by. Last time you came by, we were upstairs in 530, I think was our studio.
Is that the one that had this much space in it? And by that I mean all of my fingers making a circle.
Is. I wish I could pull up a photo because, gang, if you don't know, a lot of you don't. Man, oh man, small beginnings. This department.
Do not despise. And this is not the small anymore. Y'all have expanded. Well done.
Thanks.
I applaud.
And who is that on mic 4?
I'm Tom Hulsey.
Tom
How are you?
Hulsey. You know, it's funny. We used to do a show with a guy named Jason Hulsey. You know him?
I do not.
No? He's a nice guy. Worked in construction, took out load-bearing walls. Real nice guy. Can help you out if you ever need it.
Thank you. I appreciate the recommendation.
So, what brings you all by? How'd you get tangled into this? Success North Dallas? Is that? I know, Melanie, that's where I saw you last.
Originally, that's where we met, and yeah.
Success North Dallas.
So I wanted to tell you what happened today, Zach.
Please.
So today, Melanie came to my office and talked to my team. So, I run a sales team.
You do?
And she talked to my team about voice image.
Voice image?
Yes.
Hold on. Voice image.
He says, hold on.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wait a minute.
Well, you know me because of my voiceover work and my background in radio broadcast journalism.
Yeah.
But since maybe we saw last, I have moved further into recognizing our voice has so much power, and I keep getting asked to talk about it, that I launched into the arena of what our voice communicates and calling it voice image, working with sales teams, working with call centers, working with recruiters to help them know that they have control over their voice and that they can upgrade all of their skills.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Melanie Murphy.
Yay! Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Killing it, Melanie. The hustle is real. I appreciate it.
Alive
you speak, right? Can I go see you speak? Is that a thing?
Yeah. Once a month, you can join us over at a networking group called the Business Casuals.
Yeah.
And this is open to anybody in Dallas. We love to focus on marketing professionals and meeting pros and speakers and all of the different industries that feed into that, which if you don't touch those areas, then what are you doing? Anyway, all are welcome. Third Wednesday. I think I said Thursday. Golly.
It is Wednesday.
It's the fourth Wednesday of every month. Oh, my goodness.
Third Wednesday is success.
Correct. Be there.
Yeah.
Fourth Wednesday is the Business Casuals at the Trade Group. They're one of our sponsors, and we would love to have you there. No charge. Check Facebook. You're going to find our page. You're going to find the details, and we'll see you there.
And now that everyone is thoroughly confused about the day, can we try that again without messing up so that everyone has the day?
I need backup. I need backup everywhere.
Well, I've done this before. Controlling the guests is one of my skills. I wish I could control my kids this well, right? So let's one more time. When is this event?
Thank you.
And
the Business Casuals is going to be the fourth Wednesday of every month at the Trade Group. here in Dallas.
The fourth Wednesday of every month.
And what
at the
happens
training
then?
group. That's where
That's
you
when the
guys
business
are.
casuals meet.
Hey, that's
that's
where the magic happens.
I'm a comedy duo with Dean Lindsay, if you know him around town.
Hold on, Dean Lindsay. You're working with
Oh,
that
yeah.
guy?
The
That
Dean
character?
Lindsay.
I'm kidding. For everybody who doesn't know,
Yes.
Dean Lindsay's a peach. He's a
He
great
is.
guy. Yeah,
He's
I'm
quality.
Totally joking.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to get Tom on down there because Tom has a compelling story that probably
nice.
needs to be heard. So, Tom
Good job.
Halsey,
Thanks.
why are you here?
I am here advocating for men's health, and I recently published a. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you to move closer to the
Hey, you
microphone.
want me to position his
There
mic a little?
we
We see his
go.
face. There, he did it.
Sorry, I'm a first timer at this.
Long time caller, though.
Long time caller. Why did I laugh at that?
I am here advocating for men's health, and I recently published a book about my story. I'm a cancer survivor.
Oh, wow.
And the book, all the proceeds from the book are being donated to cancer research. And my story is a story of hope and inspiration, and it's created a passion in me to inspire other cancer victims and those affected by cancer. So I'm here to again make a difference in the world, and
That's awesome, Tom.
Yeah, Tom, you're an inspiration.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean, you really are to go out and tell your story, put it in a book. And
I was
then,
a typical guy when I was diagnosed on my birthday 4 years ago in February of 2015. I heard the 3 words you never want to hear from the doctor: you have cancer. And I had just witnessed my best friend lose his battle to the same thing, and it was gut wrenching to watch. And I was in a pretty dark place this time 4 years ago, but I have since then turned my attitude, my mindset around. And I've been inspiring people all over the world with my story. And again,
and more than that, you know, the proceeds from your book are going to cancer research.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
you are
100%.
You are living what you're saying. You know, you're walking the talk, and that is awesome.
Tom,
Thank
I
you.
want to put a link up to your book. Where, Amazon, your website. What can I throw on
I
screen?
am on Amazon. The title of the book is The Winning Mindset That Saved My Life. And right now it is a #1 new release on Amazon. And the reviews for me have been very humbling and gratifying, the way I'm touching lives around the world. And but you can go again. You can either go to my website, which is mine. There you go. You've got it up there.
Nice. Just click behind that board.
Oh, you're a cyclist.
Iron Man.
Look at her face.
In my journey, one of the things I did with the advice of my great friend here at Success North Dallas, Jan Claudner, is he said you need to set goals in your life, and he knew the mantra of the Ironman is anything is possible. And one of my goals that I set after I was diagnosed with cancer was to be able to compete in the Ironman in Hawaii.
You went to Kona?
Yes.
Wow.
That the cover of the
Wow.
And this is very much a grassroots effort. I'm self-published.
Amazing.
I do not have an agent, and that picture on the cover of my book was taken on a whim with my wife's cell phone camera. I had no idea it was going to be on the cover of a book, and here I am today.
Impressive.
That is so impressive.
Thank you.
I have a very important question. What kind of bike is that?
Cervelo?
Priorities. I love it.
Yeah.
And are those
Casey
race
brings us
wheels?
back.
Yes.
Wow.
Tom,
I'm a
what's
little
that
jealous.
website? I want to get that up.
Thank you.
What's the website?
Oh, I'm sorry. The website's just my name, TomHulsey.com.
It's Hulsey with an S, right?
Yes.
And with a U. H-U-L.
HULSEY. TomHulsey.com.
Tom Hulsey. Oh, man, there's a couple articles about here. Hold on a second. Look at this.
See?
Tom Hulsey LinkedIn.
You see,
SEO.
you know, here we are
Tom
sitting
Hulsey.
around this table having a good time, and we didn't realize that we are among greatness.
Yeah.
I mean, genuine greatness.
And everybody realizes how far an Ironman is, right? What, 140.3?
140.6.
I was close.
You were very
I was so close.
You know,
It's 70.3 for a half.
You'd have made it all the way to see the finish line.
Oh, that
at
would have been disappointing.
140.3,
I
yes.
would have been so close. So close.
Wow. That is a compelling story, Tom. That is.
It was crossing the finish line at the Ironman. 14 months after I had my surgery, cancer surgery, was one of the most emotional experiences of my life, because I went from getting around in a walker and wearing a couple catheters to crossing what is arguably the most difficult athletic endurance test in the world. Was was very, very emotional. But I touched lives around the world, though, and it gave me a platform to be able to share my story.
That's awesome.
There's another lady that we met recently. Lori, what's her name? Tracy Herbert, that has done something very similar to what you've done, and she rode her bike coast to coast to raise awareness for diabetes. And she was she went on to, once she finished, she went on to the Dr. Oz show, and they donated, was it 50,000?
Is that Lori in the corner there?
Yes. You want her to come over here?
Trying to be
Lori, come on.
Come here.
Let's share this mic, girl. Here.
She's hiding.
Let's get her on real quick. I hate
Yeah,
to say it,
let me
gang,
hop
but we gotta cycle some new people.
No.
Yeah,
We're
it's
in
time.
the mood, man.
It's time.
It's you, Lori. You are up.
It's
we need to hear
time.
all the wisdom you have to share.
Awesome.
Lori, you gotta come sit in.
I'm going to go find some new people.
Tom, thanks for joining us.
You
Yeah, I
have
was gonna
been,
say,
you
welcome
have
back.
been of all the producers I've had today. You have been one of them.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Has anyone told you sound like Dave Ramsey?
No, I used to actually broadcast. I was on radio and television, early
I can
career, and I still do a lot of stuff.
I've heard you. I'm like, that's not Dave Ramsey. That's Tom Bronson. Do I know?
So, Zach,
Yes.
do you know that Lori and I are like together?
That's a good combination.
No.
Not like that, but like this is my bestie, and we do everything together. So
Gotcha.
I will leave here in a minute.
No worries.
Can we be
please
together
hang
for
out,
just
relax.
a second?
You want to grab the host seat, or you want to?
You want me to be the host?
I mean, anybody can host.
That would be
right?
so
That's-
fun, Casey. Why don't you try to be
Why
the
don't you-
host? Let's do a little comment. I can't.
Hold
have
on a second.
turned
What's that?
headphones. Thank you.
No, they're like this.
Oh my gosh, you're so helpful.
Tammy should come host.
You must work here.
Here we go, Tom.
Oh, now I feel alive.
You just did it? All right.
I'm doing it again.
There we go.
This is my first time to ever do this.
It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are we
I
still
like
live?
it. I feel like I need to take a voice image class. from
You
Melanie
should have come
Murphy.
today.
Sarah, have a seat, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Welcome, Sarah. I think we're getting some more people here. So who? Christy. Christy, have a seat. Christy.
You can come have my seat.
So you need one more new one.
One more. Okay, this is me signing off. Thanks, Zach.
What is going on there? Bye, Casey.
Zach, are we live, Zach?
Oh yeah.
Oh, so what's the language?
Where's live? Oh, come on. What happened?
Come on, come on.
I take my headphones off for 2 seconds. Stuck somebody. You kids in there?
Sarah, have a seat. Christy, have a seat. We need one more. Sarah Crilly. One more. She's coming.
I'm Lori.
Lori, how's it going?
Good. What's your name?
Josh Hart.
Josh.
Awesome. Have you not met Lori?
I don't think so.
Now we have.
Now
And
we have.
We started out with him helping me.
Yeah.
So I'm
Because her
happy.
headphones were turned around.
I mean, completely like.
Lori, you have.
Want to have a seat, Sarah?
I'm Christy. Hi, nice to meet
Okay.
you. I love your purple.
Uni, have a seat. Is it Uni? Uni. I am so sorry.
Oh, no worries.
It's East Texas in me. I apologize.
Uni is not very common.
Yeah.
Except it's sushi.
This is my girl. Josh, be good. This is my girl.
Got it.
Except it's sushi. No trick questions for Uni. I know. Let's not do that.
So,
Don't make me work so hard.
Zach, do we have an introduction? I haven't been doing this in a while. We do like an audio intro,
Yeah,
or
I can cut a little something.
cut a little something here.
I'm
All right.
leaning into a lot of jazz this evening. to be
Ooh,
honest.
well, it's a classy affair. You have to have some
is.
jazz. Uni, did I get it right?
Yes.
Nailed it.
Yes.
You only had to tell me like 5 times. There you go. The headphones are on. Now you can hear
Game
wonderful
on.
Zach.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can.
Hi, I'm
Thank you.
Zach. I'm Zach. I'll be your pilot this evening. Yeah. I have the
the
voice of
pilot?
an angel. That's me.
Well,
All right.
let's calm down.
Stop that. How dare you, sir?
How dare you?
All right, yeah, let's play a little bit of music. We got a title for this thing? Is that...
It's called the Open Mic Podcast
the
Night.
Open Mic Podcast Night. All right, let's go with that. Let's see.
Does someone sing?
You know it.
I nominate you.
It's the Open Podcast Night.
Start beatboxing.
Yeah.
It's the Open Podcast Night with your host.
Hashtag RNCN.
I will be honest. That does sound like Up After Dark on what TNT.
I don't... Why would I know what channel...
Oh, come
Up After
on.
Dark is on?
Come
I'm
on.
one of those millennial cord cutters. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Yeah.
So here we are. This is what the show is about. Uni, tell me what you do from the 9 to 5.
Okay. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Go Ask Jay.
Go Ask Jay?
Yes.
So who's Jay?
Jay is actually, we haven't defined
Yeah,
that
haven't
yet.
found him
we
yet?
haven't found
Yeah,
him
it's just-
yet. And actually, that's going to be our tagline. We're going to look for Jay.
Yeah. Hashtag must find Jay.
Must find Jay.
Like, where's Waldo?
So yeah,
but
there we
where's
go.
Jay?
So on Go Ask Jay, that is not like Ask Jeeves. So good. We're not there yet. So that's better. Yeah, good. What does Go Ask Jay do?
We are actually a marketplace like Amazon, but we specialize in insurance and financial. Our goal is to make insurance and to be fun and interactive and easy and quick.
Well, that is you bit off a big chunk right there. To make insurance fun is a tough thing. Yeah,
That's a full-time job.
Yeah, insurance for me is a roll your eyes and yeah, sure. So does that like healthcare, automobile, home, all that stuff?
We do it all all the way from property and casualty to life, health, financial. We want to be all encompassing like Amazon.
A one-stop shop.
One-stop shop, and it's all about what do we call it today? It's
on demand, baby.
On demand.
On demand.
We create everything on demand.
Yeah. Go Ask Jay on demand, baby. So that's exciting. You know, one of the things I realized about a home insurance, because I live in Plano, and we've had hail damage the last like 3 times the last 4 years, and so I've gotten like 2 roofs in the last 3 years, and I was like, oh man, that stinks. But know what? No matter what, my insurance would have gone up, whether I got a new roof or not, because I was in the area of the hail damage. I
Might
thought,
as well get some new
might
stuff.
as well get some new stuff. Bring it on. Hail damage.
I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, it worked out really well, but not for my insurance because it went up every single time. But hey, it happens. But now I can go to AskJ.com
Yeah, go ask Jay. Go ask Jay.
and be like, hey, better home insurance, please. He'd be like, no problem, Josh.
Not to be confused with Ask Siri.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Or-
don't ask Siri, ask Jay instead.
Yeah.
So who's the Siri character? Hold on a second.
Yeah, wait a minute. And then Laura,
Yes.
what do you do?
Well, I'm multifaceted like most of us.
Got it.
But during the day hours, I am involved in sales consulting with a group of phenomenal outsourced VPs of sales. And we are 360 Consulting, DFW.com, in case Zach needs a little cheat sheet.
I do, yes, thank you.
And so we help our customers anything in the sales arena, soup to nuts, sales strategy, sales process, sales story, sales implementations, CRM, leadership, and we have fun. We have two rules. You know what they are? We only do business with people we know we can help. Second rule, we only do business with people we like.
Oh, wow. That is a good
So
rule
we
to
have
have.
fun.
We have
Yeah.
a similar rule here most of the time.
I guess I better go.
Yeah.
You can see me on camera.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then for you, same thing. Do you work with Uni?
I do, yes. I'm very blessed to work on an amazing team with Uni and everyone else of Go Ask Jay. It's groundbreaking. I served as an innovation catalyst prior to this. And
What an
this
impressive!
is-
First off, that wins for like best job title.
Gets a title like that? Innovation
Yeah,
catalyst?
innovation catalyst.
You're a
Yeah.
change agent.
I'm changing my business card immediately.
Brand synergy.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Oh, it's a wild ride, and what's so exciting to me is we're at the ground floor and working with companies in various ways. The reason my heartstrings were tugged by Go Ask Jay was because I was self-employed for a long time, and I thought about the pain that I experienced when I had to find my own insurance or financial services options, home mortgage, etc., and the hours I spent. And this is an amazing platform that Uni and Brad have built, and
So it's an answer to a problem that you had yourself.
Absolutely.
So you really appreciate the value, and that's why you can be a catalyst for innovation.
Yes.
Look at
I
that.
see.
Look at
I
that.
see it.
That is a
I'm
lovely tie up
seeing
there.
it.
I like that. A little
Yeah.
bow on that one.
I know. She is
that is
good.
that is the time we have. Thank you so much for
Thank
sharing.
you.
Go Ask Jay, and also
360 Consulting.
that's the one. Follow there for all of your help with insurance and or sales consulting. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh. You were the bomb.
That was
I do what I can. I do what I can.
Next.
Zach, do we have any comments in the feed?
Oh yeah, hold on. There's a couple in here. I want to
Wait,
make sure
someone
I
just
read
said
these.
hire Lori immediately.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's really funny watching Zach on TV and not being able to.
Yeah. That's how I perverse. That's how I prefer Zach most of the time. Seen and not heard. Yeah.
I've got Zach, you're the best. That's a good one. This is awesome, and Love It by Diane Wilson.
Oh, thank you, Diane Wilson.
Yeah. Everybody else watching that.
Yeah.
They're obligated.
Yeah.
Sorry, I turned the mic off.
Oh, I was ad-libbing. Warren, have a seat, sir.
Hey, do me a favor. Turn his camera a little bit. You see that?
Yep.
Yeah. It's been killing me in here. Oh, well done, Josh Hart. The perfect
Yeah, that's right.
turn.
Put your headphones on so you can hear. When it comes to free-handing cameras, sir.
A lot of experience.
A lot of experience.
Yeah. If there's anything I know, it's free-handing a camera.
Free-handing a GoPro.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've stumbled in, Warren. You stumbled into our live open mic night podcast, where we're taking anyone and everyone, asking them questions about what they do.
This is awesome.
Yeah, and how they could help others or how they need help themselves.
I feel like a kid. This is like
playtime
in the sand.
Yeah, you can hear yourself.
You should imagine what working here feels like. Well,
Yeah.
My gosh.
Oh, we're getting another one. Grant, have a seat. Grant, put the headphones on. Grant, welcome to the podcast open mic night.
Grant on the ones and twos.
Grant's on the ones and twos.
Yeah.
I have to blame Melanie for this. Thank
There
you,
it
Mel.
is. Sorry.
You got the mic up? There we go. So, Warren, we're going to start with you. One of the first questions we ask is your 9 to 5. What are you doing?
My 9 to 5 on the weekends, I do triathlons.
So that's nothing like what I
love
do.
sweating for a living.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Just walking up those steps gets me out of breath. I can't imagine doing a triathlon. That's good for you, though, Warren.
That's Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. And then Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday, real estate development.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So do you do commercial? Do you do...
I do commercial real estate. I am building daycare centers in Missouri and Kansas right now.
That's awesome.
And it's all about the babies.
Yeah.
It's all about the babies.
Hey, babies have to have some place to go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Especially for parents that work all day from 9 to 5.
That's one of those deals. I have a 2-year-old, and my wife and I were like discussing as her leave was coming up. Does she stay at home? Does she go back? All those different things, and we just kind of decided as a group that hey, she wanted to spend her time focusing on our son, keeping him safe and getting him educated, and she's doing a phenomenal job. We'll forego spending the fortune on
That's correct,
on child
sir.
health care.
There is a fortune in daycare.
Yeah. Turns out it's expensive to keep your kids safe from 8 to 6.
Doesn't matter what age the kids are. They're expensive.
Exactly.
And there's a waiting list too.
Yeah,
for most
that's
places.
the deal. There's a waiting list for pre-K. So our kids 2 now. At the end of February, we have to get on a waiting list for pre-K.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, what a racket!
Yeah.
What a racket!
That's the invisible hand of the free market. That's the problem. That's just getting in your way.
And Grant, what do you do Monday through Friday, 9 to 5?
So Monday to Friday, let's see, I'm embarking on my second career after 35 years working in technology marketing.
That's great.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So you got to think out what are you going to do for the next 30 years when you're alive, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm embarking on something that's really interesting in terms of taking digital marketing techniques that I've done with companies for years.
Yes, sir.
And looking at the CEOs and owners of companies, the 45 plus age group that don't understand digital marketing.
Yes, sir.
And I'm helping them understand marketing techniques, but use it on the digital platform to build trust and credibility of themselves as individuals in the concert of helping the business grow.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. That's one of the things I think you're seeing a lot more of as people as they retire from their, what they've done their entire life. And go, well, now I don't want to sit at home and play, board games. I want to get out and do other stuff. So I'm assuming board games. I probably should have said that like the crossword puzzle or something like that. But
well, for those of us that are late 50s into the 60s, it's a fascinating transformation because we don't have the kids that we have to take to daycare, but they do boomerang back and want to stay with us. Right? Get the hell out of the house here, guys.
But at least at that point in time, they're potty trained, so that's good. Yeah,
they are. But they drink all your booze. But that's fun when they come back. But at the end of the day, what are we going to do between 60 and 80 years of age? Historically, my parents, they retired when he was 60 and had the pension. That concept doesn't exist anymore, does it? A pension, what's that?
Yeah.
Retiring, what's that? And life just keeps going on, and there's a humongous blur between business and personal now. It starts early, and it's going to keep going on. So it's fun.
Well, that's one of those deals that the reason why we're kind of having this open mic night is give people a chance to hop on a microphone, kind of realize what they can do with a podcast. I always say that the podcasts are great for several reasons. But one, it gives you a chance to have your own content and control your content, and to be able to reach out to who you want to reach out to. We have a couple of shows that work in commercial real estate, and they bring on people who are in the title industry because they know, hey, these are my best referrals for future clients. And so they're always kind of reaching out and doing those. So there's 3 reasons why you want to have a show if you're interested in podcasting. Listen up. There's branding, there's marketing, and there's networking. The branding angle is I want to do shows for a long enough time and build a reputation and a brand where I become a thought leader in my field. The marketing angle is I want to get as many eyes and ears as humanly possible to view this show, to perhaps get a sale, to grow, and to expand next week, next month, next quarter. The third one for networking, that is I want to bring on somebody on my show who I can talk to where that one person can help me next week, next month, next quarter. So the beauty of it is to be able to put all 3 of those into one. And then that's when you have a really dynamic show that can really help you long term. So
that's cool. And it's incredible because many of the
we have a celebrity.
Oh no!
Hold on.
Hey! Is that the fourth? The fourth in the building.
Now guess what? He's got his own toy review show. This is
oh. So you can't see him behind the microphone and Grant. There you go. Lawrence and Crockett the Smith, fourth.
The fourth.
How are you doing, sir? Is there any pressure? Is there any pressure when you know you're the fourth?
I guess a little bit.
A little, yeah. There's got to be a little bit of pressure. You had the first, and then you had junior, and then you had the third. Well, now you got the fourth. So let's just say 20, 30 years down the line, you have a little one. Is it going to be the fifth? I mean, you kind of have to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, so Josh,
you don't have to do anything,
Lawrence. So he is the fourth in the line of Lawrence and Crockett Smith. So I'm the third, he's the fourth.
Oh, so we have a third and fourth here.
Yeah, so I'm sure we have a first and second somewhere else too. Yeah, so I tried to get my wife to name our son Josh the second, but she wasn't down with that. Junior.
She saw Josh the one.
Yeah, I don't want that version. No, we're good. So
Savage Grant.
Savage Grant. Yeah.
So I'm getting the hang of this stuff, right?
Yeah. That's what you do, right? You insult people on the radio. It's great. So Grant Warren, I appreciate you guys coming in and stopping by. If you have any info, you can grab one of the cards out there. Call us, email us. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thanks, Josh. It was fun.
2 more?
This was great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Grant Warren, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, gang.
Yeah, Grant Savage with the bars.
Wow.
These Canadians, you can never
continually streaming.
Yeah.
Josh, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wild place.
This is going to be a off the wheels podcast.
It's going good. Let me just throw that up there again.
Boom. There you go.
Oh.
Couple of wine glasses in. Yeah, there you go. Diffusing opinions.
Make sure I got that ready to go.
Get that all there so you don't see all that.
So I'm Josh.
Hi, Josh.
I don't see a name tag, so I can't cheat.
I'm Kelly.
Kelly, how's it going, Kelly? Perfect.
I just kind of got pushed right in.
That's how this works. I'm sure one of the Crillies did that to you. It was probably Sarah or Jeff.
Girl right there.
Yeah, that's the one. Sarah Crilly. They are pushers. Pushers of people.
So no name tag. My name is Kelly.
Okay, well, you can put your headphones on so you can hear us. Your producer in there is Zach. He's talking to Tom right now. But we're doing
Zach.
Yeah, as we're going around the horn, and we're just kind of talking about what y'all do for a job and what your passions are and those kinds of things. So we'll start with you, Kelly. Kelly, go ahead. What's your 9 to 5, Monday through Friday? What do you do?
I design wine cellars.
That is an awesome job.
It is really exciting. I love it.
Yeah. So what got you into designing wine cellars?
I stumbled upon it by accident, actually.
You were like in someone's wine cellar. Like, what? I can see an improvement here.
Yes.
Yeah. There's very little space for more bottles. So is it?
Well, I was actually visiting a friend of mine's new wine cellar that this company happened to be putting in for her, installing. And then after all the facts, she said, "You need to meet these people. They need to meet you."
Yeah.
And at the time, I wasn't really happy with my job, so it was just starting to get really less of what inspires me.
Yeah.
And so I was ready for a change, and then eventually here I am.
So like, hey, I get to hang out in wine cellars all day long. That's not a bad gig. You definitely advanced. Congrats.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Who needs their own? Like, how many bottles should you have before you go?
Oh, goodness.
Maybe I need a cellar.
It all depends on the person. Everything's an individual, and some people have a collection of 5,000, which we'll build for. And they maybe moved from wherever they were, and they're coming here, and they're putting in their new home, and they want a new wine cellar. Been there, done that, want the new one.
Yeah.
And then there's a client that might have 300 bottles. Or I left a client today who said in the beginning, well, I might want to store 200 bottles, but I'm going to build a collection. But here's this 14 by 17 foot room that I want to be my wine lounge. No collection. He just wanted it because he wanted it.
So he's like, now I have to go out and buy wine bottles to fill it.
Yeah. He was more about entertaining his friends and having a good site to play in.
Yeah.
And, have a good place to... Anyway.
That sounds awesome,
So everybody and anybody... But yes, someone who likes wine, and then restaurants.
Sure, yeah.
Restaurants in that group too.
I tried to make my own cigar lounge one time. Did not go well.
We do that too. We add that into us.
Hold on, is there a website for this? I gotta get this on screen.
Yeah. What's the website?
Vineyardwinesellers.com or vineyardwinesellers.com.
I think I saw somebody that had a jacket for Vineyard Wines.
That
Vineyard
would
Wines.
be me.
Yeah.
Vineyardwinesellers.com.
Boom.
Anybody else trying to be them isn't them.
Isn't them. Got it. There we go. That is a nice.
That is us.
Yeah.
That
So
is
I
us.
tried to make a cigar lounge in my what was a sunroom. Yeah. What was a sunroom? Is that the wrong one?
This is it. This is it. But what I really want to say too is I've only been doing this for like 8 months now.
Yeah.
And they've been doing this for 17 years, specializing in wine cellars. So I did not want to come in and do this just yet because I'm still learning.
Of course, yeah.
But they hired me to just market it.
Yeah.
And
there you go.
They've never had to market before, which is pretty exciting in itself, which is why I'm like, this is an opportunity for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. And then Robbie McCullough, 9 to 5. What is it that you do? You're not going to be able to top building wine cellars.
No, I'm hoping for the medal stand. I'm not going to win the gold, that's for sure. So I own a home care agency. So we take care of seniors. I did 30 years in financial services, so looking for career 2.0.
Yeah.
And want to do something that was local, impactful, help people age with dignity and grace.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we help with seniors and.
When I was starting off in radio, I had other odd jobs as everyone who does when they're starting off in radio because they pay you next to nothing.
Right.
And so I was trying to support my radio habit. And so I saw an ad in the Dallas Morning News that said male caregiver wanted. And I was like, I can give male care. Done.
Yeah. Done.
Yeah, sure.
Where do I sign?
Yeah, where do I sign?
Right.
So I showed up, did an interview. It was a house off Straight Lane.
Right.
So that tells you kind of
nice
like
house.
where they are. Yeah.
Yep.
There's I think they were one of the smaller ones. It's only like 8 or 9 million.
Right.
House.
Right.
My very first day, like my interview was making him a scotch and water, which
Nice.
I passed.
Yes.
Because that's what I drink. So perfect.
You were overqualified.
Yeah, I was overqualified.
Right.
The second thing I had to do was go put on a catheter, which I had never done
That's
before.
where you draw the line.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, I was like, well, all right,
Okay.
because they were paying me really well to do this, so let's go figure it out. Let's get down there and earn
That's
my
funny.
cash. So, but it's great though. There's people out there that learn and care. And over the last well, over back then, they've passed away. But those last 4 years of their life, I spent every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at their house, taking them out to eat, taking them different things, and it really kind of grew to be a family.
Right.
So it was really, really nice to experience that.
My motto is we're like family when family needs us the most. That's the best way to quantify what we do. So it's a great business. The business is simple. Hiring caregivers like you did for that family in Straight Lane, and then finding clients, marketing. The operations and the execution of it is tough.
Yes,
but the demographics of our country we're just getting warmed up. The baby boomers are just now turning 65, and they're not my clients today.
Nope.
It's their parents that are my clients.
Yep.
So we know this huge curve's coming. So,
yeah.
And I didn't buy the business because of that. It doesn't hurt that that's out there. But there's a great need that's only going to get more and more.
Yeah.
So it's
And then David, it says on your name tag, it says preach.
Well, I've been doing youth ministry since 1985, but the last couple of years I've been doing financial services. So I'm actually selling
long-term care.
Yep.
There you go.
The devil Josh used to be in youth ministry.
Yeah, that is true. So I've had a lot of jobs in my career. One of them, my dad was a pastor, and he thought I should be a pastor. And so I grew up, and I went off to seminary and was a pastor for a year. And then I realized, boy, that is not the life for me. It was fun, and there's many ways to serve the Lord that don't require being a youth pastor. So then I went in a totally different direction and did radio. So, but yeah.
Perfect for radio, by the way.
You fit it well.
Yeah.
I was on WQME 98.7 FM in Anderson,
Look
Indiana.
at that, see?
So,
there you go. WQME, yeah, I love it.
That's
So.
right.
That's great. And your 9 to 5 is also doing like working with seniors.
Well, financial services.
Yeah, so that's great.
So it's the whole gamut.
Yeah,
small businesses, anything I can come up with to sell to help people be able to be wise with their money and live generously.
That's awesome. That's awesome, David.
But the preach part comes in because that's what Donnie Nelson nicknamed me when I started dancing with the Texas Legends frat boys. Kind of like the Mavs Maniacs for the D-League. So.
That's funny.
Radio,
there you go. There you go. Well, guys, this is what a podcast would look like and feel like. I highly recommend thinking about having one in your repertoire of how you market your business. There's many advantages to doing it. So there's if you've been on the stream for a while, you've heard this before, but there's branding, there's marketing, and there's networking. The branding angle is I'm going to do something long enough to become a real thought leader in that field. The marketing angle is I want to get this in front of as many eyes and ears as humanly possible to grow and to build my brand. The third one is networking, which is I don't care who sees it or who hears it, but I care about my guest. I care about who's there. And a person, normally if I would have called them and said, hey, can you come out for a cup of coffee, they probably say no. You go, hey, can I take you out for lunch? Definitely not, and I don't want to have any of your health insurance. But if you say, hey, you know what? I read what you posted on Facebook, or I saw that story about your mom who was hurting. Man, I'd love to have you on my show and share that story. And then after you're done, you take them out for a quick lunch, take them out for a cup of coffee, and say, thank you for being on my show. And the progression naturally changes from them and what they do to you and what you do. And they go, hey, do you do a show? Is this what you do for a job? Well, actually, this is just a passion project of mine. What I actually do is blah. And so it's a natural way to help kind of a sales funnel and a lead funnel to get people in the door to learn and hear about your products in a very passive way. So
gotcha.
There you go. There's business cards out there. Feel free to grab one. Next 3 guests. Have a
great.
seat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
More jazz music, please.
Yes. Yeah.
You're really good. I mean, from doing what you've done prior to this, and now what you can do today. So
it's wide open. Yeah.
Smoothly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
Haid?
It's
Naeem.
warm in here.
Sorry.
I was trying to remember. What's the name of the judge that has a show?
Brandon Birmingham. Oh. Yeah. Naeem? Naeem, Nancy, and is that Elizabeth? You got Elizabeth Waters. Got it. Welcome back to the Open Mic Podcast Night here on RNCN. I am Josh, your host. In the booth with me is the ever-present Zach Lewis. Hello, Zach.
Howdy.
We have 3 more guests here, and I'll be honest, I may mispronounce a name or two. I apologize. Naeem?
Yeah, right.
Nailed it.
Wonderful.
Naeem, tell me, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, what is it that you do?
Well, I like to think of myself as somebody who is helping people staying on the right side of the law because I'm an attorney.
Well, then me and you need to be fast friends.
Sure, why not?
Don't stop that.
What is it that when you're helping people, what kind of clients do you look for?
Well, I do civil litigation, so if anybody has any griefs about anybody or they are being sued, then they come to me.
Yeah.
Especially in the civil rights area, in employment discrimination.
Oh, that's great.
So that's what I do.
Yeah. So you help with civil rights issues inside of workplaces.
Exactly.
What is the most common one in this day and age right now?
Right now, we are looking at a lot of sexual harassment or harassment cases.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a big one. I'm not really sure where to go from there. I feel very uncomfortable right now.
Solid segue, Josh.
Yeah.
Rock solid. Yeah.
I feel, but yeah, you're right. It's definitely something, and it's good to know there's people out there that you can turn to when you feel like maybe you don't have a voice in that market,
Exactly.
and have someone who can stand up for them. That's great. Nancy, Monday through Friday, what do you do 9 to 5?
I don't really work 9 to 5.
Okay.
I have a much more flexible schedule because I'm a professional speaker. I teach an online class. I do workshops and training. So my day can go from 10 to 10 or any variety of time.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Oh, no, yeah. Having the freedom to do your own thing is great. And you have a lot of the different things you can choose from as a revenue source, which is phenomenal.
Right.
I'll have you know, we have a lot of podcast clients who are speakers. Actually, Betty Coffey is the president of the
She's
NSA.
one of my best friends.
Yeah, so she has a show here. Yeah.
I'm on the board as well.
Hold on. I'm the producer on Betty's show. She's a doll. She was here Wednesday. You should be on her show sometime.
She's trying to get me on.
Oh, okay.
Well, there you go. Give in to the power of the tea.
Again.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Join the show. So
I'm also a writer, an author. I published my first book last year, and I help people take better care of themselves, manage their stress so they can be a better team leader, team player.
That's awesome.
And live a healthy life.
That's phenomenal. Thanks for sharing. Elizabeth,
hello.
how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for inviting us.
Of course.
It's a lot of fun.
So Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
I don't have 9 to 5.
No
it's
one
like
has 9 to 5 hours around here.
Yeah. Isn't 9 to 5 is an antiquated idea, I guess.
Hear that, Zach? 9 to 5 is an antiquated idea.
At 7 a.m. This morning, all right? Yeah.
I actually have many hats I wear too. I have productions as well.
That's great.
I also host a radio show.
Perfect.
And I do federal contracting. So
that sounds serious.
It is.
What's like? Is that like top secret? You can't talk about it. Okay, good.
No. Actually,
give me all the juice.
You got to have goals to meet, and so I go after those contracts, or they come to me
to get the goals.
Yeah, to get minority goals.
You're a goal ticker.
Goal oriented.
Yeah. How funny. Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the same spiel about podcasting. There's 3 reasons why you want to have your own show. One of those reasons is for branding. One of those reasons is for marketing. And one of those is for networking. For the branding part of it, you want to do a show where you do it long enough and you do it where you have a big enough following that you become a thought leader in your field. For the marketing angle, you do a marketing show where you're having as many eyes and ears as humanly possible tune into what you do. The third one is networking, which is I want to find someone, a guest, to have on my show. That person can help me next month, next year, next quarter. Bring that person on, have them on your show. Spend a half an hour talking about their favorite topic, them. And then after that show is done, then you can take them out for a coffee or a quick drink. And then you can ask them questions that you have that kind of opens that door for that quid pro quo. So those are the 3 reasons why you have a show.
So can we ask you questions?
You sure can. Ask away.
I heard a little bit of your background.
Yes, ma'am.
Ministry and stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
So do you not do that anymore?
I thought you were filming my response. Like, am I going to be on TMZ?
Yeah.
No. So I was a pastor's kid growing up, and then after being a pastor's kid, I guess I still am. My dad's still a pastor, but I thought that I belonged in ministry, so I went to school to do that, and I studied theology for a year. I was going to be a theology major, and I spent a whole probably 2 or 3 years being a youth pastor at a church in Oklahoma City. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed being around, like helping the kids and being there and being that part of it. But I realized that you don't have to be a full-time pastor to do and to help out with your spiritual walk. So I was able to leave that behind. Other people who had a deeper passion than I, and I focused on just being the best me that I could be to help people around me.
Great.
How's that?
That's good.
Wonderful.
Zach, any other comments in there? You have your mic turned off?
No, I was just gonna play you out.
Anyone else have any questions or comments?
You ever heard of the Christian rock group David and the Giants?
I probably should have.
Oh man, you could have lied and you didn't. Well done. No, that was good.
I could have lied.
Because
what would have happened is
I would know
of course
because
I've heard of them.
I actually do music productions too,
Oh,
so
see?
we do concerts
throughout
different places. And so.
Yeah.
So
That's
how
good.
often do most people do podcasts here?
We prefer once a week. Once a week is a good show. So that right here is the host of Your Pets Radio, a show that's produced through RNCN, and you do once a week. That gives you continual engagement with your audience. We have one show that does 4 times a week. That's a lot. That's a big commitment. Once a week is perfect.
I need every day.
There you go. Yeah, so every day you can do that. But we find for podcasts, your audience is fine knowing, hey, every Thursday, or every Friday, every Monday, I can log into iTunes and get that week's episode.
So are there pricing sheets around?
Yeah, so you can grab a business card out there on the desk and email any of us, or I can shoot you, Nancy Little, I can shoot you a proposal tonight.
I have a card.
Perfect. Hand it over.
What he means when he says you can grab any card, he means grab Zach Lewis, digital producer. That's the one you want.
Yeah.
Zach Lewis.
He knows that. I love this card, by the way. Look how it's like a bookmark.
It is a bookmark for my book.
Look at that. Boom.
Speak of the devil, I was gonna say I got one of those. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Not from Miss from Tom Hulsett. Yeah, he's got a bookmark card. Yeah, hold on.
What is this? Fancy? Is it? You guys go to like fancybusinesscards.com?
Look at this. Yeah. Big bookmark card.
Yeah, I created it for my book, so then I put it in the book and autograph it, and
that's awesome.
And people can remember me because my picture's on there.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you guys for coming on the show. We'll take our next 3 guests.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Yeah. Want to play some music in the background?
Got
There you go.
going on there. Yeah, there it is.
Right here. Is it going?
Do you think it's worth leaving the iPad in there with you? Is that?
Sure.
I don't know if you want to juggle it, but
yeah, I can do it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Be in a second. Stand by.
That is a nice watch, Lawrence. Yeah, look at that. I got a better watch game than me. Melissa from Capital One. Wow. Oh. All right. Welcome back to the Open Mic Night podcast. We have with us the one, the only, Lawrence Crockett Smith III. Next to him, the fourth. And then at the end there, I see Melissa Buck. Perfect. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
As you all know, if you follow the RNCN feed, you'll see Lawrence's show, Your Pets Radio.
Your Pets Radio.
Yeah, right here. And I'll give you some fun facts here about Lawrence. And he gave me some of those pills.
The Gift for Life.
The Gift for Life. Thank you very much. The Gift for Life for my dog, Bo. My dog,
Correct.
Bo, is 14 years old, a yellow lab, and was kind of moping around the house and had lost an extra pep in his step. And I'll tell you, we gave, in the first 2 to 3 days of 2 pills of Gift for Life, he acted like a puppy again, to the point where my wife was back getting frustrated at him jumping up and down and wanting to run outside.
He's feeling great again.
Yeah,
So we specialize
yeah.
in pet longevity.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll tell you this, it works. I've seen it firsthand.
Right, yeah, the Gift for Life. Yeah, what we have done is actually created a peptide technology. Peptides are life.
Yeah.
Naturally occurring growth factors actually signal the hormonal production in the body, and you need those cellular receptor sites receiving those hormones. But you don't need synthetic outside sources. You need something natural. So what we're able to do and accomplish is actually turn on the adrenal cortex of these animals that have been spayed and neutered. A lot of people don't understand when you spay and neuter, you crash their endocrine system. They're only producing 1% of the hormones before that. Or pets that are over the age of 8 are considered senior pets. So what we're able to do is turn on that adrenal cortex again naturally, and they just start acting like a puppy again. And so you're actually coming on my show, I think with Christina too, and talk about niblets, I think.
Yep. So Bo is one of those dogs. And my wife's like, why are we doing this again? Because now he's back to running around and playing, and
he's feeling great.
Yeah, bringing me a ball. Before he just would ball up next to the fireplace and just crash out. Now he's
well. It's not just dogs. I mean, this morning, you guys had me doing interviews on the Fox Network, talking about pot-bellied pigs. The adoption of pigs, and do many pigs really exist? And I had to give the truth about that. So that was a very interesting conversation we had on the Fox Network today.
Do teacup pigs not exist?
They do not. No, that's just a catchphrase.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they can actually get up to 200 pounds. And it's been a scam, but what they do is they don't feed these little pigs enough. And so they have malnutrition. And they're just not growing at the rate that they're supposed to. When people finally adopt them, they feed them and take care of them like a family member. But the problem is that they can grow. And as you know, we talked to the famous pet vet, Dr. Danny Cox. And Dr. Danny actually had a pot-bellied pig. And grew up, and the pet grew up to be about 200 pounds. And the problem was that sometimes these pigs can become aggressive, and they started biting the other children and biting other animals. So he had to put it, and he found the sanctuary. So the pig is absolutely safe. But the gift for life. There we go. Hey, thank you.
The pig became breakfast. It was phenomenal.
No, he went to a sanctuary. He's totally safe. But you have to understand that there's a lot of scams out there, and we have to be careful about that. And there, of course, is a gift for life. If you have a senior pet, please put them in my care for the next 30 days. I promise we're not going to let you down. Within 4 days, you can start seeing results. Or also learn about the side effects of spaying and neutering and how we've made advancements now in veterinary and health. We can do vasectomies. We can do zinc neutering, and we can also make sure you leave the ovaries in when it comes into spaying and the females, so they need these life-giving hormones. And this is the answer. So we're changing the industry, and we're hoping we're educating people.
Oh, I appreciate that. And then a hard right turn, I'm sure. Melissa Buck, I see Capital One on your name tag. Is that what you do, 9 to 5?
Well, like many of the other people that have been interviewed said, that it's not 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Well, we love Capital One.
Yeah, we do. I'm a card-carrying member.
Me too.
Awesome. Well, I'm a commercial banker with Capital One. I'm bringing customer service back to banking.
That's awesome.
You'll see a lot of bankers that will give out 800 numbers. I give out one number to my clients, and that's my number. And I coordinate all the resources that they need so that they're not having to explain their whole story yet again to somebody that doesn't know them. So that's really, I took a hard right turn in my career and went from clothing retail to commercial banking.
Oh, wow.
And so I knew that, gone were the days where you sat behind a big, huge cherry desk, held out your hand, and expected people to bank with you. So I've always been passionate about customer service, about fraud prevention. My whole goal is for my clients not to step foot in a branch. Because if they're stepping foot in a branch, they're not running their business.
Yeah.
So, get away from paper-based transactions, get more into electronic transactions, because every time you send a check out there in the universe, you're sending your routing and account number out there just to get compromised.
Yes.
So, that's sort of what has been my passion. One of my good friends, his mentor was Frank Abagnale of Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
And so, he and I have had many, many conversations about fraud and fraud prevention. And I was able to help one of my clients pull back an $800,000 wire that was due to fraud.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because what's happening now, you'll find that fraud happens on either coast, and then it works its way inward. And a lot of fraudsters are getting into people's servers, hanging out and reading emails going back and forth. And this whole transaction was a CEO that was buying another company and the fraudster sent an email as the CEO to the CFO to cut that wire. Well, wires, once they're gone, they're gone.
That's hard to retrieve.
Yeah, you can't pull them back. but I was able to contact some resources in New York and able to get that money back, or that company would have been out $800,000.
Wow, amazing.
So yeah, if my bank tried to get a wire for me for $800,000, no, that's all right, Josh. Nice try, Josh. So that's awesome. That's really, I can hear your passion about banking, which is great.
And as a businessman, I have to say I like one banker that I can contact, and reach out to, and I know you're always there for me. So I'd like to get your card for sure.
Oh, definitely. I would love to provide that. And again, I'm bringing customer service back to banking.
That putting people together is what we're doing here on the show. We'll be right back with 3 more people talking again here on the Open Mic Podcast Night on RNCN. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Loris. Feels good to be back in the captain's chair again.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Been out of the game for a while.
Gone but not forgotten.
Hashtag.
How's it looking out there? How's the crowd?
A little sparse. That's good. People are dying out.
Slowing down?
Slowing down. Yeah, that's a better term. Slowing down.
Dying out. Oh, gosh.
What do you think the max viewership has been on this feed?
I mean, got to be in the hundreds.
No, I mean like at one time, like 1, 2 tops.
I think at one point we had like 15 or 16, honestly.
Wow.
I think it's people who are here and who are tuning in. Yeah.
A slow Thursday evening at home.
You know.
Open a bottle of wine, grab your phone.
That's right.
Watch a bunch of randomness.
You know, there's been some moments on here. If I had the time, I'd love to cut a little highlight reel of little things somebody slipped up and said. Or
yeah.
It's not bad.
Here we go. Here's 3 more.
Oh, really?
Hello, welcome.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Have a seat right here. What's your name?
Kelly.
Kelly, I'm Josh. Pleasure to meet you. Yeah, super casual. Come on, Warren, you can do it again. Don't be shy, Warren.
First time's free, second time costs.
Yeah.
I'll get my metaphors mixed, but it was 3 of them.
So it's Kelly, Warren, and Rosalind. Love it. Put the headphones on. You'll be hearing from our wonderful producer right inside there. His name is Zach. Say hi, Zach.
Hi. How's it going, gang? Yeah, thanks for sitting down with us. We appreciate it.
There we go. So we're back now again with another round of the Open Mic Podcast Night here at RNCN. We're going to ask you questions about what you do. We already know what Warren does. Covered. Done.
Oh.
Commercial.
Yeah.
We went
Commercial
deep.
real
We did
estate.
in a short time.
We cried. We laughed. Shared war stories. It was great. So, Rosalind, what do you do?
So I work at an HOA management company, and I work in the marketing department.
Yes, the HOA.
The HOA.
The HOA.
Yeah.
Yes,
Talking
about some good stories. Yes, the HOA.
So
I am
for the
all
longest
marketing
time, when I was looking for houses, I always go HOA. No, avoid HOAs.
Makes sense.
Yeah, avoid HOAs.
It's a great way to improve your property values.
Sure. Yep, it is. Well,
This is on the internet, just so you know.
No, it's fine.
All right.
I stand behind my beliefs.
I just want to make sure Rosalind's on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games.
We just asked a question on when is the good time to take down the Christmas decorations.
Oh, yeah.
Every community is different, but I think about January 4th is when they say, like, it's
after
over.
the Feast of the Three Kings.
That's when we start sending you the fines.
Yeah.
That's when we start sending you those notes.
After the Feast of the Three Kings, they send them down. So I know for us, we have a house on our street called the Castle because it has, like, the city has come out to be like, in plainly, like, hey, sir, you can't put a 17-foot menorah in your front yard. it's drawing planes from the sky. Yeah. So it was funny because I remember talking to him once, and so he thought, I'll make it all better, and he put like a giant Jesus next to it. So there you go. Now everyone's like, it wasn't a menorah thing, sir. It was an is 20 feet tall.
It's the monstrosity.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it's not.
Yeah. So, and then Kelly, what do you do for your job, not 9 to 5?
I was in 9 to 5.
Sorry. What do you do for your job? Period. There we
Don't
go.
worry about after 5. None yet. After 5 is none yet.
Well, we'll have to keep this Disney because I work for Disney.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Yep.
Like
So-
Disney, like as in like the radio station? Or
happiest
Disney?
place on earth.
The happiest place on earth. No, I work for Disney Institute, so we are the advisory and training
awesome.
arm of the Walt Disney Company.
That's really
I'm
cool.
flying to Disney in like 4 days.
You are? Where are you
It's all
going?
world. Florida.
Florida?
Oh yeah. Yeah, girlfriend got me tickets for Christmas.
We went at the absolute best time. So I have a 2-year-old now. We're not going to go
Not
now.
yet.
But we went before Sans kids. We went 1 week before school got out for Christmas. Went to Orlando. And there was no one there.
Yes, best time to go.
What?
Yeah, no one
Best
there.
time
The
to go.
longest line we had was like 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them just walk in, ride your ride, and go.
Best time to go. And then the weather is amazing at that
Yeah.
time of the year,
And
too.
you still get Christmas.
Nope.
Yes,
to
and you
self.
still get Christmas.
No.
Yeah. So 1 week before kids get out, because it's finals, kids can't get out during finals. Boom.
Yep.
This is
Boom.
amazing.
Yeah. Game changer. Now that I've already gone and had a great time, you can all now use that
Now
same
you can-
trick.
I'm
You can go have
totally stealing that. That is happening. Like
no,
2019.
it was great. We I remember my wife and I tried to drink around the world at Epcot, and then I think about Japan was like, you know what, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't want Disney security to have to walk us out. Yeah,
They're so nice about it, though.
Like, we're gonna have to drag you out of here, sir. Over by the property.
I love it.
So, but no, it was phenomenal. We ate in the castle. We had the whole. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm totally doing
Saw
that.
someone get engaged.
Yes.
Just
You
fun.
see lots of those.
Yeah, I've always wanted them to say no. I'm always like, yeah.
But you should say no.
Wouldn't
though.
be so magical then.
You're supposed to say no. If somebody asks you to marry them in public like that, they said that's a controlling person, and you actually are supposed to say no.
Really?
Just FYI, yeah, because they are like relying on you to feel the social pressure, and they don't want to be embarrassed because they kind of feel like you might say no.
But what
and
if
to
you
give
love them?
Yeah.
But you don't do it in public.
Oh wow.
You just
that's
don't.
that's
Like
a hard
my
and fast
husband
rule.
did, and we've been married for 15 years.
Big
Or
mistake.
don't take my advice. I'm wrong.
Just saying.
But they say it's true. They like don't do that because that person is giving you social pressure.
I love the one like on the basketball field or on like the basketball court,
okay. I
and
do love those.
and he's like, she's like, no, and she runs off, and he's like, yeah, I love
I also
those.
love
but yes.
love, so I do like when it works out. But
One of my absolute bucket dreams is to be at a wedding where someone like either says I have something
have
to
an
say,
objection.
Or runaway bride.
or runaway bride. That's one of my bucket lists.
does that really happen though?
Apparently,
I just don't think it really happens except in movies.
I don't know.
think we could get that lucky.
Hey, Betty, how's it going? So
I do. I am ordained though, so I just got ordained because I wanted to do it.
Yes.
I just don't want to be like. I don't want anybody to ever need it and then I don't have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm ordained. So if anybody
is that through like ordained.com?
Yeah. Like it was like put your name and email address, and I was like yes, and they were like yup.
Yeah.
You are now.
Do you solemnly swear? Put 3 fingers in the air.
You now can marry people.
Wave them,
so,
or you just don't care.
And I was like, I've always wanted to be ordained and be a notary because you just never know. So
You want that stamp.
I want to just be able to help people if I need to.
Like, I can marry you and
Yes,
notify the thing at one time.
That'll be $10.
Yes.
Boom.
It's so much more difficult to become a notary though. So that's like a whole other.
You can't go to notary.com.
Jesus,
so there
no.
you go. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show,
Thank
Warren.
you
Great
so
to have you
much.
back on the show.
So glad
Warren
to be
didn't say
back.
much.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the company of my
Yeah,
ladies here.
Yeah, we're getting 3 more
trio.
in. So
All right.
it was
Thank
great
you.
having you guys on.
Amazing. That was cool. All right.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Oops, somebody walked in their water.
Yeah, this is
like cool.
Jeff, do you want to hop on the mic for this one?
sure. Okay, come put the mic on. Put the headphones on.
Oh, this is my jam, Josh.
All right. We're back on with another episode, another session of the Open Mic Night Podcast Hour.
Segment.
A segment. There you go. That's the one I'm looking for. So everyone here is Zach right there. There's Zach, your producer.
Hi.
Hi. So I have Monica. Is that right, Monica? No.
Marcy.
Marcy. So I can't read, so I apologize. Yeah, one day I'm getting there. Steve, and then what's your name at the end, ma'am? Linda. So Linda, there you go. Linda, we're going around the table, Steve, Marcy, and talking about what we do for a job and what we're passionate about. So I'll let you start first, Linda. What are you passionate about?
Travel. I'm pretty athletic, so I like skiing and snow skiing, water skiing.
Wow.
Any activities.
Do you do snowboarding or just snow skiing? Oh, there you go. See, I don't do snowboarding.
They made fun of me because I was 42 when I learned to snowboard.
Well, you know what? Then there's still hope for me. I'm 36, so I still got some time.
I'm 26. I skied for the first time ever a few weeks back. So for what it's worth, you're in good company.
Yeah, I've been skiing I think 3 times. One of them is at a radio event. So I used to work in radio, and they flew me out to Durango, and there was an event at the top of the mountain, like little concerts and bands, and they get you like hopped up on alcohol at the top of the mountain, and the only way down is to ski down. And so I'm like, here I am, have like 5 or 6 shots of liquid courage, and I'm skiing down the mountain and just full throttle, just all the way down, yelling, screaming, looking for small kids to avoid. Yeah, it could have been really bad. I made it. Yeah, I was fine. I didn't do it again, but I paid it. And Steve, what do you do?
Well, I am passionate about figuring out how things work. Human nature, human dynamics, people, organizations. It's not as much fun as skiing down the hill straight down, although I've done that. And I've ripped out a few things over the years. But I like to watch people. I like to observe them and figure out what makes them tick.
Oh, wow. That sounds like it could be an interesting job, either for a private detective.
I do like Cheaters.
Cheater, yeah, that's a good show.
I love
Filmed
Cheaters.
right here in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And for you?
I'm passionate about love.
Passionate about love.
Yes,
Yeah.
feeling love, giving love.
So
how good I feel when I share love.
Yeah. So how does that manifest itself in your life?
My dogs and my kids.
The dogs and your kids. I know that my wife, our dog, I feel like I'm a close second
to the dog.
Yes. Yeah. They get everything that they want, and
Right.
I just get to come home at night if I'm good.
You're lucky.
Yeah, if I'm good, I get to go home at night. Yeah. So that's great. This is what a podcast would feel and sound like if you guys were doing one. I always say there's 3 reasons why you want to have a podcast. One of those is branding. One of those is marketing. One of those is networking. So if you want to do branding, I want to do a show for long enough to where I become a thought leader in that field. For marketing, I want to get my message out there for my thoughts and my ideas to grow my brand with as many eyes and ears as humanly possible. The other one is networking, which is I don't care who sees it or who hears it. Right. All I care about is my guest. And I'm going to find people that normally I wouldn't if I came in the front door. I wouldn't have a chance to talk with them.
Right.
But if I said, hey, you know what? I love your story. You got to come on my show and share your story, share your passion, share that on the mic with me, with my audience. And then after that, there's a natural connection that you form. And then you can take them out for a happy hour at the Hilton right over here, or up for a quick cup of coffee at Starbucks. And you can turn that into a friendship or a relationship that could help you out next month, next week, next quarter. So that's kind of what I think podcasts are really good for.
How many podcasts you all do a week, a month?
Right now we have 46 podcast clients that come and do shows here at RNCN.
Wow. And is this a relatively new division for y'all?
In our PR firm, it is a very new division. I'd say it's probably only 2 or 3 years old.
3 years.
3 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your job?
I am the director of operations for Real News PR and RNCN. So I help all the departments communicate, work, and operate together.
But you kind of have a radio.
Well, I did radio for 13 years here in Dallas. So I did radio at Mix, and then the Mix flipped to Now. So then I was on Now for a while, and then Now flipped to The Edge. So then, and then they flipped me from Now to The Edge. And then I did Edge for a while, then they flipped Edge to Star. And I did Star for about a year, and then I was looking for someplace else to go. So
A lot more money in this.
yeah.
So what do you guys do around, like, email, social media, marketing around?
So that's more, we have people that can help with that, but that's more of like an advertising angle or a marketing, straight up like a marketing firm. So from a PR angle, what we do is we say, hey, your show is your content, right? Okay. Your show is what you do. So that's your social media post. It's the content that you have every single week around that. And if you want to take that show, the video, and create a network email that you send out, hey, don't forget, I'm going to have so-and-so on my show next week. Here's an email reminder. Right. So you can do those kind of things naturally with a show. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel, and it's just, hey, here's content that I'm creating for you. Here's a show that you can have access to.
So what's the key to making a podcast interesting? What makes it really work?
So the deal is that you have to be passionate about it. If you're not passionate about it, there's not going to be a passionate show. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about taxes or taxidermy. If you're passionate about what you're talking about, you're going to find an audience. It could be an audience of 50 or an audience of 50,000. It wouldn't matter, because I've always said I would rather have 200 people who chose to come hear me speak.
Right.
Than 1,000 people. When I was on the edge, they would tell me that at any given point in time, there was 250,000 people tuned in to the show.
Okay.
But none of them knew me. None of them, they were just happened to be there, and I happened to be the voice behind the mic talking.
Okay.
So my thoughts and opinions weren't really, they didn't really care. I would trade 1,000 people who click on my show, who say, I care what he has to say, and I want to interact and react with him through that process. I would trade that 1,000 for 250,000 any day of the week.
So are they scripted or
no? It can be just like this.
Okay.
Where you're sitting down and you have 4 or 5 questions that you may ask your guest. They have some questions they may ask you. It can turn into a natural dialogue. We have a show. His name is Seth Denson. The show's called Somewhere in the Middle. And Seth's first show, he was scared to death. He wasn't going to be able to do 30 minutes. 30 minutes on the microphone? What am I going to do for 30 minutes? That's forever. Like I maybe 10, maybe 15. We said, just see what happens. Now we have to drag him out of here. Hour and a half. Like, come on, Seth. We're closing up, buddy. Come on, let's go.
That man's never done a half hour in his life. It's always 45 or longer.
Yeah. So that's So that's kind of how that goes. And so when someone says, "What's the perfect length for a podcast?" I think one of our producers, Matt, said it best. I heard him say, "How long is a piece of string?" It's as long as you cut it. It's as long as you want to do it. The rule of thumb is the moment you get bored, your guest and audience were bored 5 minutes ago. Okay. So kind of knowing that valve and going, hey, I'm starting to get kind of bored. We should probably wrap this up or move to a different topic.
Okay.
What's that?
This is our board, how we control the microphones in the studio.
Cool.
So I can on and off.
Turn your own.
Yeah, I couldn't mute them. They weren't talking, Zach.
It's a shame. If you hold on, I think we can work this out. So you can see his spader sliding right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do it again. Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah, the magic of magic.
So you go. Yeah, you can do that, and so it's
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's a way for me to operate the board with Zach still focusing on operating the cameras.
Yeah.
So, based on y'all's connections, could you all get guests for us?
We don't offer that, and I'll tell you why we don't offer that, because it doesn't work really well. Okay. If I call and say, hey, Steve would love for you to be a guest on his show, they go, who are you and who's Steve?
What's your show about?
Yeah. No, he doesn't have a show yet, but if he did.
What would your show be about?
Well, my show would be about wine.
Ooh.
Oh, I can get all my girlfriends. Yeah, I got plenty of girls.
Yeah.
Now we got a conversation.
Yeah, sounds like Red. This is the name of the show. Yeah. But so if I call and said, "Hey, I'd love for you to be on Steve's show," they're gonna go, "Who are you and who's Steve?" Whereas if you call, again, it's that social norms.
Right.
If I go, it would mean the world to me.
Right.
If you came on my show, it's a lot harder no.
Right.
Well, you'd be surprised at how many people want to be on the radio. So getting people, you won't have a problem.
It's kind of like when you're in high school and you're trying to ask someone out. You walking up to a girl and saying, "Hey, I'd love to take you out on Saturday night and take you out for dinner." That's going to be more likely than not. Yes.
Yeah.
But if you send one of your friends, "Hey, Zach, go over there and ask her what she's doing on Saturday," it's a much easier no. So I'm not saying no to you. I'm saying no to Zach. So it's separated out. So that's why we say it's important that you bring the guest, you bring the content, we do everything else.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all want to have a seat? Yeah.
I'm gonna sit in Christina's chair.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's right here. Christina Romero.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have a P1 for the fan base here.
I know, yeah. Christina Romero.
She knows where Christina Romero sits.
The one, the only.
I do for lunch break.
That's right.
A
Thank you so
lunch
much.
break fan.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Here we go. So it's Amy Kelly.
Amy Kelly, and tell me your name.
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hi,
And
Josh.
Diane?
I'm Diane.
Pleasure to meet you,
So
Diane.
I'm Christina's boyfriend's mother.
Christina's boyfriend's mother. That's a mouthful.
Quite the
And I'm
resume.
Christina's boyfriend's mother's friend.
Friends. We got
Wow.
Seth.
And one hot in the hot seat. Who's this? Seth, put your headphones on. We have Diane, and we have Amy Kelly.
Amy
I feel like
Kelly.
you had to say it at the same time. You had to say
I
Amy.
know.
Oh, someone's kicking the cord over there.
That was me. Sorry.
So over there's a little bucket. There we go. We're back.
Okay.
Are we back? No, we're not back.
I can hear you guys just fine.
Well, okay. So there's a little box in between Diane and
you know
Amy
what? You
Kelly.
guys do your thing. I'll come in there. Take
Thank
care
you,
of it.
Zach.
Yeah.
So welcome. You're having a hard time hearing us because the box was bumped over there. I'm not going to name any names, Amy Kelly. I'm not going to name any names, but somebody bumped a box. It's fine. It happens.
I was just, are you an ag?
Oh man.
Oh boy.
No, it's on now.
Oh, here
I'm
we
a
go.
Longhorn.
Oh, what are you doing with the ring, man?
No, this is.
Let's see, what is it?
That's the University of Texas. Come on now.
It's not-
No, I'm giving her.
Fighting words, right?
It's not the first time that people have mistaken it.
Don't worry. You can go to SMU and then you're so apathetic, no one cares. Like, oh yeah.
You know
Yeah.
that when you live out of state, like anyone from Texas is who you love, right? Like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Truth is, all of my best friends are Aggies.
Yeah.
Me too.
Perfect. So what we're doing is we're going to go around the horn and talk about what we do for a job. Talk about that a little bit. Then we're going to go into podcasting and the benefits and the perks, and then you'll have a little Q&A time. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Fantastic.
Awesome. Great. So wait for Zach to sit back down. Waiting on Zach.
Am I too
Waiting
close?
on me.
Waiting on Zach. Yeah.
I know.
Am I too
Well,
close?
you got it out to play that spicy jazz music. Otherwise,
okay,
what are we doing here?
All right, hold on. Here we go. Let's play a little bit of electro jazz.
Ooh.
Nice.
It's very like Euro
That
jazz.
sounds like a polka.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's Euro jazz. It's the polka. There you go.
Okay.
So going around the table, Amy Kelly.
Yes, sir.
What is it that you do for and I've been saying 9 to 5 and I've been getting slammed for that. I don't want to say job. Job sounds so like, but what do you do to pass the time during the week
And
that
make money.
they pay you for?
Yes, that they pay
Yeah.
me for. So I actually work for my husband's company.
Great.
And he has a commercial construction company called Northgate Construction. And he started it about 5 years ago. So I am kind of the Girl Friday for his operation.
Everything and anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this like new home build or is this like?
Oh, no.
like-
It's commercial construction. In
Oh,
fact, we-
nice.
Yeah. So buildings here around the Metroplex area.
Have you done any buildings inside of here?
No, we do some work with some people in the Lincoln One building.
Lincoln One, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. But a lot of our stuff is more like Energy Square down in 75,
That's
and in the
great.
Granite Office Park up in the North Plano, Frisco area. So things like
My
that.
my dad was a brick mason, and so he, as well as a pastor, but he loved.
I thought he was a pastor.
He's whatever I want him to be for the story. No, he was a brick
Isn't
mason.
that what a pastor is, though, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he was a
Anything and
brick
everything.
mason and a pastor, but he loved like making things with his hands. So that was like every summer for me growing up since like 5th grade was all like making mud and
Yeah.
laying out bricks and joining and brushing. And he said that was like my college motivation fund. Basically,
Yes.
he didn't pay me, but if you don't go to college, you can be doing this all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
that's great. And Diane, what do you do?
I am currently learning how to become a life coach.
Awesome.
I've been in marketing and analytics my whole career, and I just quit last year, and I am now going to the life coach school and I'm learning how to become a life coach, and I'm interested in learning about podcasting and things like that. I met Amy literally last Sunday, and I know she does podcasting and things like that. And I said, hey, there's this open house that Christina Romero, who I am sitting in her seat right now.
You are, yeah, on the lunch break. That is her chair.
Yes, and I know her well. Everyone loves her, and every time I mention her name around here, everyone's like, "Oh, we love
Yeah.
Christina." And she's not feeling well; she's at home right
Yeah.
now. But she said, "Hey, there's an open house. Why don't you come down and check it out?" So here we are.
Here we are. So when you said life coach school, like where's life coach school at?
It's in the internet.
Okay.
But it's
I didn't know if it was
also
like an
about
actual,
to be a building. Brooke Castillo is the founder of it. It's an internationally renowned life
Wow.
coaching school now, and it's going to be. She's building it in Allen, Texas, right now.
That's so cool.
So it's very cool. It's the best program I've ever seen, and I've been interested in doing this kind of thing for a lot of years.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited that I'm going to make it my reality this year.
That's awesome. Good for you.
Yeah, thanks.
And then down there we have Seth.
Yep.
Seth, your job. I'm just going to say
My
job.
So I'm an HR guy.
Oh, great.
I'm currently in transition. So I'm a free agent, and I'm on the market and looking for my job. But what I'm doing in the meantime, I have a podcast that I'm launching on February 4th.
Awesome.
And I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm having a hell of a time.
Is it the HR podcast?
No.
No.
It's all about the topic is networking. It's all about networking and what it is, what it isn't, why we do it, how to do it better. And so I've already got 3 interviews in the can. I've got another one doing tomorrow, and my plan is before the 4th to have several lined up, ready to go, so that way I can
start to kind of roll that out.
Start to roll it out, yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm having a great time with it.
So why did you get into HR in the first place?
Why did I get into HR? Well, the honest truth is, it was really networking. It was I was looking for a job. I had just gotten out of school, and my college roommate.
Horns.
Yeah, my college roommate was like, "Hey, my company I just got hired with, who's an engineer, they're looking for an entry-level HR guy," and I was like, "I could do that."
Yeah.
And so that was it, and I fell in love with it. 22 years later, here I am.
So it's so weird. So coming from radio and media, we had an HR person, but like there was no HR rules. Zach, can you back me up on that? There's no.
There was no.
I'm pretty sure at a company party, at a company party, my HR director slapped me on the behind. So I'm pretty sure there's no I don't know how you could survive and be an HR person at iHeart. And then finally they figured it out, and they got rid of all the HR people except for one that you can call in San Antonio. And that's your HR. That's like, there you go. Out of sight, out of mind. If you don't think you have one, then you can't complain to one. Wow. Perfect.
Yeah. There you go.
Solved.
Funny, my HR guy slapped me on the behind too, but since he's my boss,
yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But I'm back.
Yeah. He's like, hey, sugar. All right, sir. That's enough. I'll talk to you later on. So, well, there you go. That's how. Thank you, Zach. The thoughts and opinions of the show. There you go. There you go. So that's how a podcast. You guys all know. You guys both have podcasts. How it would run with us. We do video. We do audio. You're live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. You can be on up to 10 feeds at the exact same time. 10 Facebook, 10 YouTube, 10 Twitters. Up to 30 Twitters. I'm sorry. Up to 10 different Twitter channels. You can be on up to then 30 different channels at the same time. You can move that over to audio only, and then you're in the podcast world. That's iTunes, that's Spotify, that's iHeartRadio app, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Anywhere where podcasts are heard, your podcast will also be heard. We handle the description. Well, we handle putting in the descriptions for you. All of those things are handled on the back end through us. But you guys already have yours, and they're going great. And that's kind of how that's what we do here down in this part of the PR firm.
So so SEO and that kind of stuff, that would be up to the podcaster.
We can do tags. Is that right, Zach? We can do tags.
Yeah, totally. No, yeah, we can handle like the basics. We do hashtags. We title things. We use keywords on Facebook. We tag people like crazy. We're all about it. We make sure to add websites if we can, and put in as much stuff on that in that way as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So more than like a typical user would do. But if you're really looking for like the hard SEO crunch,
that would be a side thing that you could buy from us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like an add-on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our SEO guy is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We have. I remember there's like 4 clients in particular that I can think of offhand that are the entire first page of Google. So you just type in their name. One of them is Seth Denson. You put in
great name.
Seth. Put in Seth Denson, and he is the entire first. Every line is him. So he is very good at SEO. I'm not sure what black magic he does, but I want him to do it to me because Josh Hart was a pretty popular search tag, and now there's a Josh Hart who plays for the Lakers, and I went from like 5th or 6th on page 1. Now I'm like page 8, buried in the back. Like, thanks a lot, man.
Wow.
So, but yeah, there you go. That would be the show. Thanks for coming out, guys.
Very cool. All right, thank you. Just
you.
want to say really
Yeah.
quick though
Yeah.
that my podcast is very different from the construction world. If
Oh,
I
is
can,
it?
yeah, if I
Oh,
can throw
so
that out
what's
there.
your podcast?
Yeah, so my passion
Nice.
is my passion is teens. And I taught middle school for a long time before I had my own kids and started working with my husband. And so my podcast is all about connecting with your teens and parenting and really using young adult literature to kind of leverage books and things to be able to talk to your teens about
Like Harry Potter.
yeah, ones that are a little bit maybe edgier, more
Yeah.
like 13 Reasons Why and things
Oh.
like that, where you can
Yeah.
leverage the issues in those kinds of books to talk to your teens about really important issues without if you're kind of coming at it sideways instead of
Head on. Yeah. I remember like my dad tried to have the talk with me when I was like 16. And it was so awkward.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, first off, stop.
Did you say he was a pastor?
Yeah. You're like, well, son, there's going to be times when you feel some urges. Like, Dad, just stop.
Yeah.
You're like, la, la, la,
Yeah,
la, la, la.
my friends have already told me you're way too late to that party. Just
The horse is already out of the barn.
let's keep this relationship the way it is.
Yeah.
Let's not cross the line. We can't undo. So there you go, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Real quick, before you take off.
Yeah.
Everybody keep those on. I had somebody who wanted to ask a couple questions from in here. Give me a second. Josh, entertain people.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you'll see here to your left, we have. So this is one of the cool features about this is that we can use this back here as a Skype call, a Zoom call. So if your guest can't join you, no problem. We can put your guest on and we can Skype them in to the show. And we can do different things. We have a producer in. Producer, hello
I
there.
see that.
Lawrence and Crockett Smith the fourth. How's it going, sir?
Good.
You doing all right?
So what's your show?
Toys in the News.
Toys in the News.
That's awesome.
I just wanted to ask you, what was your favorite toy as a kid?
My favorite toys. You're asking the whole group. I'm gonna let someone else go first while I think about that.
Okay, so I was the kid who my favorite toys were actually books. So I like to read a lot. I know, right? Like I would take my books outside, right?
I'm kidding. No, that's awesome. My wife was the same way. She could sit and read all day. She used to get sent to her room when she was in trouble, and she would sit there and read and forget that she was ever in trouble.
Yeah.
I was a play with like G.I. Joe action figure guy. Dan?
Oh, all about Barbie Dream Home.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
It was like a suitcase you could carry around, and it would open up, and there was like the bedroom and the living room, the kitchen. It was just my dream.
Did you have the convertible?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
the
of
little
course.
green one.
Did you-
Yes,
Was
I
it
did.
Ken, did you have the Ken doll too?
You know, I didn't know. I never had a Ken doll.
There wasn't
Isn't that
room for
funny?
Ken in her
I
life
guess I'm
at that
just
time.
a very independent woman.
I don't need no Ken.
Yeah. Favorite toy?
Favorite toy probably would have been Star Wars. I had the whole
Let me
Star
break in.
Wars
Does
series.
anybody like Hot Wheels?
I love Hot Wheels.
Yeah, for
still
sure.
have my Hot
All
Wheels.
of us. Yeah, yeah.
I still got my Hot Wheels. Yeah.
Lawrence, do you have a favorite Hot Wheel that you like?
No. I like
You
all
don't?
of them.
You love them? Do you like cars, trucks? Do you remember micro machines? Do you have micro machines? Those were a thing back in the day. No?
No.
Like little small Hot Wheels?
What about Legos? Are you into Legos?
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you like building the sets or just building your own stuff?
Building my own stuff.
Yeah.
Why
that's
wouldn't
awesome.
you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Well, there you go. Any other questions?
No.
All right, perfect. Thank you for coming on, asking the hot questions that matter. There you go. That is the Open Mic Night podcast. Thank you very much to Lawrence Crockett Smith the fourth, and for y'all fine guests here. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Hey, what's going on in there?
Well, I guess we're looking for 3 more.
All right, I was gonna say, are we putting a bow on this thing? Or are we gonna keep going?
I'm fine putting a bow on this thing. Let's go ahead and put a bow on this thing.
Yeah.
Let's put this baby to bed.
All right, well, let's play. Okay. You're on the right camera. There we are. You give us a little outro?
No. Sorry, yeah. No. Go ahead. We'll do an outro. There you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching the Open Mic Podcast. I am Josh. I've been one of the many guests you've heard today. You've heard from Jeff or from Sarah. I think you even heard from some Bill Wallace every once in a while. And as always, you're sitting here and you talk to Zach. Thank you very much, Zach, for all your hard work and dedication to make this podcast what it is. And this department, I'll say this department for what it is. You know what? Matt, Anna, forget them. You, my friend, are the bee's knees.
It's true. I am.
Thank you guys so much. You can always reach out. Find me at joshhart@realnewspr.com. That's JOSHHART at realnewspr.com. And we can be here for all of your podcasting needs. Have a phenomenal day, and we're out. Bye. I'm just kidding. We're back. That's a solid outro, too. It's a solid outro.
Of course we're back, yeah.
Of course. Oh, no.
Here we go.
Oh, no.
Oh, hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
I see what's happening here.
Yeah.
I know these characters. All right, well, this was worth bringing the outro back.
Yeah. We had just signed off, then we brought it back for one more.
Yeah, all right, you guys do your thing. I want to come in there and adjust some cameras. I want to make sure we get this right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So here we go.
I need to take my earrings off. Sorry.
Oh.
Hurting my ears with the earphones.
You've seen my card. My card's is about your earrings. Success is what we all aspire to. The interconnecting C's are how we do it. Connecting the right people for the right reasons at the right time.
Did you contact Chanel and ask them?
I did not,
Okay.
because I've got different colors and different font.
Yes.
I put a dog's tail on them.
Oh my gosh.
Good to see you.
Hey, Chris. Hi,
All right,
Zach.
this is my second podcast of the day.
I love it.
We did one. What time? 10 this morning?
Oh, yeah, with Betty Coffee.
Yes. Which already is getting crazy hits on Success North Dallas's website.
We good?
How many podcasts have you done tonight, Josh?
A few.
I bet.
A few.
I'm surprised you still have a voice.
Oh, no, sir. I could go for days.
With
a talent like
that.
this, come on, sir.
Please.
Please. Please.
Please.
So there we go. So, you know what, Bill? I'm going to let you run this one. You
Awesome.
You can just take it and run with it. You can ask Victoria or myself any questions that you have.
All right.
So, Zach, are you there?
There I am. Or me,
So,
I'm in here too.
There you go.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Yeah. Matt and
there he
Zach
is.
there.
Matt.
Oh, and happy belated birthday, by the way.
Oh, really? Happy birthday.
Thanks,
Did you
guys.
finally
I
turn
appreciate
21?
Yeah. So close.
So close. Almost. Oh, my gosh.
So, Zach, we're going to let Bill Wallace walk this one. So
Yeah, go for
he'll
it. Please.
play some intro music.
Oh, you want some music?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Always.
Otherwise, why are we here?
Get a little something over here. I like this one. I've been playing this one a lot. Hold on just a second. Yeah, that's Bill Wallace, all right.
Next thing you'll be doing is playing Scotch and Soda.
It's the Bill Wallace Show on RNCN. Bill, take it away.
Good evening. I'm Bill Wallace, founder of 30-year-old Success North Dallas. And tonight we've had an incredible experience at Real News PR where we did an open mic podcasting evening. And if you can only imagine how a happy hour, that would be alcohol, great hors d'oeuvres, and an open mic all fit together, well, I think we're going to have some of the best bloopers in the world coming up in the next few days. But we've had so much fun. We've had 200 people come in tonight for this happy hour, and I know at least 198 of them have left amazed. But I have a great guest tonight with me, and it goes back to some of my history and my roots. I'm a native Dallasite. I grew up in the Park Cities. I grew up on Armstrong. I went to Bradfield Elementary School, and which is right next to Highland Park Village, where we have so many memories, I do at least, of places like Cooter's Camera Village, a 7-Eleven, Skiller's where we got big shakes. But the village is being transformed, and it's being transformed by a gentleman named Ray Washburn. And Ray was lucky enough to snag, get, bribe, steal one of the top marketers in North Texas, if not in the state or if not in the nation, who built North Park, built Legacy West, and I don't mean the physical building, I mean the market presence, the brand, the impact. And she's been brought to Highland Park Village by Ray Washburn. You might have heard his name in the last few days. They're talking about him
becoming CEO of the World Bank, an incredible investor, builder, visionary. And Henry S. Miller built Highland Park Village. And as things go, they aged out. But Ray Washburn, with the help of my guest, Victoria Snee, is giving a rebirth, a new edge, a new face, a new life to Highland Park Village. And I want to bring Victoria in with us. Victoria?
Hey, Bill.
Tell us a little bit about this craziness that's going on where I grew up. I mean, literally.
Your old stomping grounds.
Bradfield Elementary School that just got torn down. That's where I went to school.
Bulldozed, and it's coming back. It's amazing how much, how much space that school took up. When you drive by it, it's like, what happened to Bradfield? But in about 6 months, I think it's going to be.
I think so.
Be back up and going. Yeah. I mean, the evolution, it's funny. We were talking earlier about some of your favorite places. Cooter's Camera. 7-Eleven was there. There's just so many memories of so many great businesses. But if you go today to Highland Park Village, you're not going to see Cooter's Camera.
No, you're on Rodeo Drive.
You are on Dallas's version of Rodeo Drive. Absolutely. It's a stunning, beautiful center.
I have a beautiful lady in my life, Jennifer. And my fear factor is actually going to Highland Park Village because there's this shoe store there with red soles. And they ain't cheap.
No, they're
not. And
not.
That's the first thing she says. Do you mind if we stop at Christian Louboutin? And I just think to myself, where's my old Skillins? I could get out with a 30-cent Big Shake back then.
See, and I was going to ask Josh if he knew. I know he knows.
Oh, no, I know.
What the red sole means.
Of course.
I was going to ask if he knew that brand name, but yes.
Yes, your credit cards hate them, and your wives and girlfriends love them. That's all I can say.
Love. Best shoes. Love the Christian Louboutin shoes.
In fact, when I saw Victoria tonight, I said, where are your Louboutins? Or where's your red soles? She said, I left them at home tonight.
Yeah, just have the Valentinos on.
Yeah, I decided to slum it tonight.
We might sound like shoe snobs here, and I can tell you we are.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. But it's like taking a 5 and dime store, Moses, that was in the middle of Highland Park Village when I was growing up, and now there's not a Harvey Winston. There's what's the jewelry store?
Harry Winston.
Harry Winston. I couldn't remember it. Thank God I don't go in there. But there's a Harry Winston where there was a 5 and 10 cent store.
Isn't that amazing?
If you can imagine that. There's so many. There's huge Ralph Lauren. What is it? Purple.
Well, that's one of their labels.
Right, that's their label that starts at about 5,000.
That is the largest Ralph Lauren store in the state of Texas.
I thought it was the largest in the world. We're Texas. It should be.
It should be, right? I don't know if it's the largest in the world, but we could look that up.
Well, why don't we just
say it is?
Why don't we just create it?
If you say it, it is so.
Yeah.
And and I remember back a long time ago, I have a dear friend, Linda Ivey and her husband, that started a little quain place in the top floor of what was a bank building, Highland Park Bank Building. And that Stephen Ivey, his name's Steve Ivey, Stephen Ivey, and he would do the little collections and he would do appraisals. And now that has become no longer in the Highland Park Village, but Heritage Auctions. And what a lot of people in Dallas don't realize, Heritage is the 3rd largest auction house in the entire world. It started right there in Highland Park Village, and they do all collectibles. Right behind, Sotheby's, I think Sotheby's is number 1. I'm not sure.
Sotheby's and then probably Christie's.
Yeah, Christie's. In fact, Jennifer did Sotheby's catalog for years.
Oh, wow.
But you think about the things that have come out of Highland Park Village, and then there was an old Sanger Harris there, and James K. Wilson, where after my uncle's men's clothing store went, he sold that, Irby May's men's stores. I would buy him all my clothes at James K. Wilson, and that was not inexpensive, but it wasn't expensive. And now even that's gone. And Larry North is still there, isn't he? Or is he gone?
No.
Larry North is gone.
Larry North is gone. So it's a whole new evolution, and
well, that's where Ray Watt office is. It's what used to be the fitness studio.
Exactly. There was the salon was up there, Frederick Fekkai, but they've actually they're still in the village, but they moved to a different location.
So tell us, what is Highland Park Village going to look like over the next 5 years?
Well, they just built the Park House,
right,
which is a private members-only club that's right above that Starbucks and Chanel. And, you know, there's certainly restrictions within the town. You know, you can't just build whatever skyscraper you want in the middle of Highland Park. But I think that, you know, certainly the town has been very receptive to a lot of the changes that's going on there. And having that club there is really, really cool. And I went upstairs and checked it out last week, I guess. And it's just beautiful. Well, stunning, beautiful.
And that's why we're having you on the Bill Wallace Show, because I know that you're going to have Bill Wallace an invitation for that grand opening at the Park House.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes,
exactly. These are why we do podcasts. We do podcasts to bring people on to get great things to happen.
Yeah. Yes.
This is why we do it, and this is why you should do
to
one.
Get exclusive invitations to members-only places.
Precisely, and this is what works. But. So the Park House, tell us a little bit about when is that going to open? And
it actually opened. They did their first big event on New Year's Eve.
I have to interrupt. I missed my invitation. Oh, well.
I know. Oh. Well, I wasn't there either, Bill.
Okay.
So
calm down.
Yeah. So they so it's based on really kind of those social clubs that you see in New York and London, and so it's not like a country club with tennis courts and golf. I mean, it truly is a social club. So it's a place to meet, and it's a place to network, and you know, just enjoy fabulous dinners and lunches, and it's just a wonderful place to meet people and relax and enjoy. And you know, what's really cool about it is no pictures. I thought when I would go, I'm going to take pictures of it. No photos allowed. And
Sounds
I thought,
like Las
wow.
Vegas.
What happens in the Park Club stays in the Park Club.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. You know,
but I thought in this day and age, you know, no cell phone pictures, and it's strict.
I love it.
And I thought that was really, really cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's well, you know, there's a lot
Very
of
private.
there's a lot of mistakes about the Park Cities, but one that we were looking at a house on Harvard over there, and one of the mistakes that I found out is that the taxes are very low in the Park Cities. As compared, they're high because the house prices are high, but attics and basements, the square footage are not part of your tax roll square footage. I had no idea until a few months ago.
Are there basements though?
There are basements. There's some big basements, wine cellars, offices, converted
build your
attics.
house and
exactly. And
I always thought we couldn't have basements in Texas because our soil was not so good.
No, you can have anything you want if you got the right engineer and the right checkbook. But some of those, one of the houses we looked at and had a basement that was 1,000 square feet in the basement alone.
Wow.
And the attic was 1,100. None of that was taxed. Park Cities, they've got some things right. They're doing some stuff right.
Yeah. Good to know.
So
there you go.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Sure. Yes, you can ask me anything you want.
What is your favorite store in Highland Park Village?
Oh.
He asked the tough questions.
I asked permission first, though.
Yes, he did. And Josh and I did radio together for so many years, so he knows what a tough question that is for me.
We're talking while she's thinking. We can't do a show like this without somebody helping to run it. And Josh, would you introduce yourself and your company?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I am Josh Hart with Real News PR. And then on the booth in there, running and hitting all the buttons, is Zach Lewis.
There he goes.
Zach Lewis right there. He was an iHeart board op and has now come here and is our master board op for all shows, helping all shows sound professional and high quality.
And Josh, where did you come from?
Also from iHeart. Me and Victoria worked together
and
for a
how
handful
many
of years. I worked there for 13.
Wow.
13 years.
Okay, I'm going to segue into something else. I'm still giving her time to answer this question. We will have an answer before we go off the air, I promise you. But the question that I ask the number of years, when I look at Real News PR and I look at the staff that Jeff Curley has put together, 13 years, 10 years, 12 years, he has brought together a staff of some of the highest rated professionals in North Texas in radio, TV, and broadcast. I think there's one lady up here that ran the show and the guest at Good Morning Texas.
For 28 years.
28, okay. 28 years is obscene. So if you want to get on the radio, to get on the TV, I brought out a book December the 19th My mentor, Herb Kelleher, passed away on the 3rd of this month. I have been on the radio or TV because of Real News PR, Jeff Crilly, 47 times. If you want this kind of exposure, if you want your own podcast, to do what we're doing, to laugh here like we're laughing, to have fun like we're laughing, then you need to go on to Real News PR. And Zach, would you put up the contact? How do they get a hold of Jeff Crilly? Hey, there's Zach. Man. How do they get a hold of Jeff Crilly and the Real News PR team? Just put that up so everybody can see it, because we're now going to pass the mic back to Victoria
for my
the
answer.
Question of the night. What is your number one favorite store in Highland Park Shopping Village?
Well, it's a tough question, Bill. And thank you for giving me the time to think about it, because I really do not love having to pick one. But if I have to pick one, I'm going to have to say Chanel. It always comes back to Coco. So it has to be Chanel.
Let me reach over here. I know some of you might see this on tape, but here are her earrings.
There you go.
You don't think she's a Chanel girl?
Come on.
There they are.
Come on.
There they are.
They won't fit me, but
someday.
Someday. Yeah, thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
But this is what podcasting is all about. This is the fun that we have doing it. And I have one more question for you.
Yes.
Tell us about your family.
Oh, well, I have a small family.
Yes.
It's my mom, who is an only child. Both sets of my grandparents, of course, have passed away.
Right.
But I have an older sister, Jennifer, and she has a little girl who's she'll be 3 in July. Her name is Mary. However, I gave her a hashtag. I branded her.
And there's a room you and your sister laugh just alike.
Yes, we do. Laura Martin, it's on staff here, said she heard my sister laugh and thought it was me. But my sister came up to the Real News PR studios with baby Mary, my little niece.
Nice.
And so, yes, but then, of course, I have 2 fabulous stepchildren, Dallas and Sarah. And then, of course, the light of our lives, our tiny little, we call him our little, but that would be Caleb, who's 8 years old, and that's Sarah's son. So we have a really special little family.
And Sarah and Dallas are both involved in Real News PR.
Oh, yeah, they love working with their dad.
And their dad, who's a dear friend of mine, loves working with them.
He certainly does. And it's a blessing for him to be able to work with his children and for them to be able to work with him. And it's special.
And I do believe Sarah's vice president of his company.
She is.
And then Dallas wrote his first book when he was, 13? Was that right?
13 or 14, yeah.
Somewhere in there?
Yeah.
So what a family and what a tradition.
It's a lot of fun, and we get together every Sunday for church and brunch.
Whether they want to or not.
That's one. Okay, we're in Texas. We're the Bible. Where do y'all go to church?
We're Catholic, so we go to Prince of Peace
Pop.
in Plano.
Nice.
Pop. Yep, and
Very
we see
nice.
Josh there from time to time with baby Harvey.
And what you don't know is that's where Betty Coffee goes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh.
Very nice.
Wow.
So we have some, Betty Coffee is the president of the North Texas National Speakers Association.
Okay.
And we have just had so much fun. We're the North Texas Speakers Association. Speakers don't need a podcast, right? Wrong. We are doing a podcast every week. We won the National Innovation Award for the podcast as the most innovative chapter throughout all of NSA. And that's a lot of people in a lot of places.
Yep.
So, wow. So any parting words about Highland Park Village?
Well, I just hope that everyone will come, of course. Come explore if you've never been there. It really is a very special, unique place. We like to call it Dallas's Gem.
Dallas's Gem.
It is.
Well, Dallas has another gem, and that's Success North Dallas. And ladies and gentlemen, we've been meeting the third Wednesday of every month for 30 years. We're in our 4th decade. 91 companies formed, 1,000 jobs, 6 Ernst & Young Entrepreneurs of the Year. And our next meeting is on February the 20th, where we will be presenting the Dallas Police Officer of the Year Award for the 17th year. Our speaker is Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, Guardian of the Republic. You can find out any information you want about Success North Dallas at successnorthdallas.com. I am Bill Wallace, and what's your contact information, Highland Park Village?
Victoria at hpvillage.com.
Victoria at hpvillage.com. Bill at successnorthdallas.com. We love you all. May you do what you love to do with people you love to do it with on purpose. God bless and Godspeed.
Well, I know what you're thinking. I thought they were done. They did an outro, then they came back, then they did an outro, and then they came back, and they did an outro, and then they came back again. And the last one, they actually faded to black, and they thought that was it. But no, we're not done. 2 hours and 16 minutes, and we have more to say, more guests to sit down with. So please, excuse me while we cut to Studio A. Lovely Anna Xavier, who I'm not sure is ready to start talking or not.
I am.
There she is.
I just heard you right at the back of that, so you may have been saying the most amazing things, Zach. I would have not known.
Take it away, Anna.
So, I am joined in the studio by two lovely ladies, Jeannie and Valerie. Welcome to the studio.
Good to be here.
All right, Jeannie, your mic has to be closer.
First things first, Jeannie.
There we go.
Jeannie, your last name is Lewis. My last name is Lewis.
Hey, I love that you
along
can
the way,
read
I'm sure
from
that
there.
worked out. I'm a sharp guy, Anna.
I can see. So, you're here tonight.
I am.
It means that you're networking. It also means that you have something to tell us about. So what do you do, Jeannie?
Thank you. Well, what I focus on is helping businesses grow through engagement. And one of the things I'm most excited about that I'm happy to announce in this opportunity is for self-insured businesses, predominantly mid-sized, larger-sized organizations, to be able to save their employees on routine health care through a pricing transparency search engine.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for about a year and a half, working with this organization that provides the search engine to employers and their employees, along with I help them with awareness and wellness tips and wellness education and how the pricing works for routine care items. So not emergency and not primary care, just routine items that basically, although there's some variation that makes sense, not to the degree that we're currently experiencing it. So if you imagine with collectibles and antiques, before Amazon and before eBay, we had a lot of pricing variation in those items. And then when eBay and Amazon came along, people could see these items and their prices throughout, where they were located. And that's what the search engine does for routine care items in network and zip code. And so, like for example, New York City, there's, we have an example of a knee surgery at $1,295 on one end of the zip code, and then not even on the other end of the zip code, but just down the street, down that zip code a little bit, is $99,000. So this is not uncommon. That's right.
Wow.
Not uncommon in our system the way it is. And so with market forces as opposed to regulation, we can all affect it through the pricing transparency search engine. And again, it doesn't have to do with the primary care or the emergency care. It's only about the routine care items.
Wow. I have to ask you a question about that. So technology, I mean, it's making all the difference in the world in every aspect. How did you get into using technology into your business?
Well, I was wanting to make a difference and do something that would be meaningful. I was at a crossroads and I was searching for something to work with, and I found this.
Is your background related to technology in any way?
It is, to the degree that as a marketing professional, I've worked with technology companies, and I mean, marketing is highly technological today more than ever. So in those regards, yes, and I'm learning Python. Lord help us all. I'm trying to make my own little technological
thing. You're learning coding language. Wow.
I am. I'm trying to make my own little thing. But so I'm into technology, and I'm a fan of it more and more and more. But yeah, I work with an organization that created the search engine, and I help to get it out, and I help to raise awareness both about it as well as with the employer. I can either provide content to them to share with their employees, or just provide it directly, because the awareness to use the search engine, how it works, and then this organization that made the search engine also shares with the client the making of a plan as desired in order to share with the employees some of the benefits of that savings, because there's a good third or more of savings usually on those healthcare costs.
Right, and especially when you're ill, or when you know that you have to visit any emergency room, or just having to do that mental exercise of thinking, I have to go and take care of myself. Right. It is difficult. You're not we're not rational or logical, right? So, and it goes across the board. When you're ill, the last thing you want to do is go and bargain and go and research, right?
That's so true. And then they also provide concierge service, so you can just pick up the phone and tell them, and then they'll do all the work for you. You don't actually even need to use the search engine, although it's pretty simple. It is certainly nice that there's an emotional aspect that definitely goes along with medical anything. So,
what do you like most about all of this that you're now doing?
Well, I like the empowerment of the employees, of the companies, and the bigger vision of getting the pricing to be under control, just the same way that antiques and collectibles became standardized, much more standardized.
Because, you know, I mean, as you said, you're sick, you may not even want to talk, you sure can't think, and then
having to just do a research and end up with having a million windows open in your computer, right?
And pricing is an issue today. I don't want to go to the hospital, please.
Right. So yeah, it's nice that most people just go to where it's most convenient, either to their where they live or to their office, and that's the way most people pick where they go. They may hear word of mouth from someone that they know, oh, this one's good, but it's very much like, I believe, antiques and collectibles used to be.
That's a very interesting analogy, because everyone knows antiques, right? That's a concept that everyone can grasp. I mean, I was born before the internet came along, and I lived a part of my life without the internet, so I can still remember how things were. And just to think that now, more and more, we don't have to spend. There's someone creating something that will improve our life in some way. I can't wait to have driverless car. I can't pay for a Tesla yet, but that's going to be an amazing time when that happens. So, Valerie.
What?
Hello. By the way, we are also joined by Gary, who is on the other side of the table. Gary, just so you know, you are in frame when Valerie is. So welcome to the studio.
I'm going to be honest, he's actually not in frame.
He's not?
Well, you don't have to worry about it.
And see the back of his
Good,
head.
I don't have to be too concerned.
Looking sharp, Gary.
Okay, all good. You can kick back and relax.
All right, sounds good.
So, Valerie.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Our RNCN listeners and viewers may recognize your face because you have a podcast here.
Yes, I do.
And I'm your producer.
You are.
So it's fascinating to be on the other side for once.
I'm watching this so fascinatingly. Yes, it is.
So tell us, for the people that have not seen your podcast, have not heard it, please tell me what in the world gave you inspiration to start a podcast, and what do you do in your podcast? Who do you talk to?
You know, it's called Doing It Right, the stories that make us. And it's just a great thing to have the opportunity. It's about interviewing leaders, all walks of life, just people who have had successes in their life, really big successes, right? It can be a CEO, it can be someone like Howdy Homemade Ice Cream that has the little ice cream shop that only hires special needs people. That's success. And so I interview these people, not so much about the success that they now have, but more about the stories underneath that success, you know, the journey. And how that happened. Most importantly, how they have stayed authentic and real and people of integrity, and that success didn't go to their head.
That is so huge.
And they become somebody that they weren't before. So I'm on a real mission. And as far as the podcast itself, I just think, my goodness, talk about technology growing exponentially. Podcasts, we know, are growing exponentially.
Yes.
Grandmothers are listening to podcasts, and so we're getting our news with them. We're getting our information. We're getting inspired by podcasts. If someone out there is listening and they have a passion and a desire and the ability to talk, I think a podcast is just awesome to get a message out.
Right, and you do coach people. That's your business. Tell us more about that.
So I am an executive coach. I've been coaching before there was such a thing called. In fact, I remember very clearly years ago when the term executive coach came into being. And I ran into my husband and I said, honey, guess what? It isn't called face-to-face coaching anymore. It's called executive coaching. It's not one-on-one work anymore, consulting or whatever it is. And so I've been doing it for a long time. And I love it.
And now you just took it to the next step. You're just doing a podcast featuring people that were found a way. They're great mentors. Yep. And that's a lot of people that talk about that, right? The influences of other people in their lives.
And you know what they always do? And I know you all will appreciate this because you probably have those pearls of wisdom. You've lived a few days.
And the Valorisms.
And I call them the TPOVs, the teachable points of view. What are those pearls of wisdom? I always ask them to leave the audience with 2 or 3 things that, you know, if you were sitting there talking to your child and they're getting ready to go to college and you say, you remember this and you remember this and you remember this. And so it's fascinating to have a whole list of all of them, and they're different. They're not the same things over and over again, and that's interesting too.
Right, and you've done a couple of episodes. I would love to know, to have your take about how podcasting has, helped you in any other way. Because I remember the first episode we were doing, you were doing mock-up show with me.
That's right. And just like this, walk in and just start talking.
Exactly. And now you've been doing around 16 episodes.
I have 20 in the can.
My gosh. we have not released everything. And also how has podcasting helped you as a professional? I would love to know that. Looking back, what do you feel like you can do better now?
Well, for one thing, no matter what your background is, if you can do a successful podcast, the skills that you hone and the learning that you have and the growth just as a professional, it's not easy to sit here in front of a mic and make sense for 30 minutes. I don't know how people, talking heads, do it all day long. But so it grows you professionally, for one thing. The other thing is you're able to, again, and Gary, I'm eager to hear your passion because
I'm about to leave.
No, you are not, sir.
Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. Everybody has something a message to get out. I like to say to people, because I write books, there's a book in everyone. Isn't there a book you want to read or write? Is there a book you want to write, Gary? No?
No.
Let's talk. I bet there is.
So what do you do, Gary? How did you end up here?
I think I just kind of blundered down here.
And now you're going to be famous.
Yeah, now I got stuck. I don't know. I'm in the financial services industry, and for a long time, actually, I was in high tech for many, many years, and then I kind of got out of that, and I've been doing this for about the last 8 to 10. I got tied up with some of the health insurance and Medicare type things. More and more, though, I've gotten involved with how can people protect their retirement income? How can they sit there? You know, we sit there and as I was in this thing when I was in the corporate world, you put your money in X amount of dollars and you hope that it grows, and you really don't understand the ramifications and everything. And I'm getting more and more to understand there's a big difference between as this money accumulates versus as we want to actually take it out. And so the distribution can have some major impacts. And one of the things I try to help people with now is how can we minimize taxes on this money, because that can be one of the major things. And so I sit down and I try to work with people on how can they do that. And some of the stuff would be amazing to you that you could see. You could see where you would think one amount of money growing to such would be one thing. I could show you where a lot less than that could actually still be worth more than 20% more after the fact. You'd be amazed.
People don't know exactly what they need to know, do they?
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. So
I would say if you can give us one piece of advice, what can you share that, like, to the common person? I am very curious right now.
You put me on the... Just meet with somebody and talk to them about the distribution and not just the accumulation. Too many financial advisors, all they want to do is they're interested in the accumulation. And, what's the rate of return on such and such investments?
Okay.
Everybody meets with that. When you get into later on, when they start taking the money out, and how does it impact things like their Social Security? How does it impact any other earnings that they're making? There's some major impacts on that, and a lot of financial advisors don't necessarily share that with people. All they're interested in is what's the rate of return. When it comes to the distribution, it's a whole different story. I would say talk to somebody that can talk to you about both things.
All right. Well, that's a pretty good one. We're all now richer with that information. Thank you so much.
We can sleep at night.
Yes. All right. I think we have to take a break. It may mean close the broadcast today. It's been an intense day. If you're listening on the other side and you've been on this journey with us for the past probably 2 hours, thank you for being on that side.
2.5.
2.5?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks,
Just
Zach.
cleared 2.5 during this interview, actually.
All right, so...
I didn't think when I was going to sit here, I was going to get stuck on the...
All right, so we're still on.
I know exactly what you mean, Gary.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, so before we close the stream today, just an opportunity for every one of our guests to just let people know where we can find more information on them. So, Jeannie, take it away.
All right, so medcaresave.com is where you can find more information out. This is available for consumers, and I work with typically mid to large size organizations, the CFOs and the vice presidents and leaders of human resources.
Wonderful. Valerie, where
Perfect.
people can find you?
Well, it's easy. It's my name, Valerie and Company spelled out.com. That's my website, and there's everything on there. And I have a leadership development firm that does executive coaching and training and development.
That's a rock solid URL, Valerie. Well done.
Thanks,
Company.
Gary. Where can people find more about you?
I'm like Valerie. It's my name as well. It's GaryBushINS.com. And, there's a decent amount of information on there. But the big thing is there's my contact information. Call me and be happy to talk to you about any of the things I just talked about, as well as Medicare and some of the other things as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking time to sit down with us for a little
Thanks,
time.
Anna. Thank you.
Thank you. And all right, Zach, thank you for being a rock star and holding on for those 2 hours and a half. We loved having you on that side as well. Thank you for joining us. So have a great evening. All right.
Well, I think that about wraps our show, gang. It's been real and it's been fun. It's been real fun. I think we learned a lot about each other. More importantly, we learned a lot about ourselves. Turns out the podcast was the friends we found along the way. So thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, for throwing a like, a share, a comment. And if you're watching this after the fact, we missed having you. And if you came by, thanks a lot. We'll see you around the internet. We'll be the same old so-and-so we always were. So thanks for listening, gang. From RNCN, this has been the Open Mic, Open Happy Hour, Bill Wallace Show, many other things, podcast. Thanks a lot.